What up with it, YouTube? I'm gonna let a few people get up in here, then we're gonna start the show, man. All right, so we're gonna get straight to it, man. After all these months, all these theories, all the stuff that's been going on, now the feds have announced that they are not gonna pursue any charges in this case. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna pursue any charges. Now the thing about that with me is it just don't make no sense. When you look at the chain of events that happened, it kind of make it look like the like the laws they because okay, you had them write their letter to the president and everything, right? They did that, trying to push for some justice, try to push for some justice. They wrote the letter to the president, you know what I'm saying, trying to get some justice and trying to get like the feds to like do their job or whatever. And then next thing you know, like a week later, the Fed say, "All right, well, we drop, we ain't gonna pursue nothing." It don't make no sense. it kind of it kind of to me it make it feel like they got offended or something and said, "Well, okay, you think we ain't doing our job? Well, what y'all do it yourself?" You know what I'm saying? Because why would they even like they, the tape should be enough anyway. But they talking about when they did their second autopsy, something wasn't right. Like this is what's confusing me. They're saying that they're not pursuing any charges because of what they gathered on the autopsy, which I don't know what they gathered on that autopsy is not really saying, but they're saying they don't have enough evidence, basically. You know what I mean? They're saying that they don't have enough evidence to file any charges. So we was right about one thing. The feds was trying to pursue. They was trying to pursue. They was trying to pursue something. That's why I was taking them a long time. They said that one of the one of the lawyers said that they really was taking too long to 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 gather this information, and that's why they have a lack of information. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I really don't know what to say about it. I really don't know what to say about this right here. Shout out D Lynn. I don't know what to say about this, man. Like it's not making much sense to me. And we're gonna look at it because they went live. They went live. You know what I'm saying? They went live earlier. And earlier today they went live. So we're gonna take a look at that and see what they're saying about that. Now the parents, they still not giving up hope. But look, check this out. See, that's why I got some eye opener stuff for y'all, man. And that's what and the thing about it is, of course, I've been trying to keep it positive and keep hope alive, but when I show y'all this, you're gonna understand this is how this stuff works, man. It's crazy. Like they don't care, man. They really don't care. It seemed to me it's like and this is just my opinion. It seems to me like the FBI said, like, all right, so y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all wanna chastise us like we ain't doing our job. Won't y'all solve the case then? Like they just gave up on the case. And I ain't never seen the FBI give up on a case that fast. It just don't happen. And can anybody explain to me why would they give up on the case? For one, we know that it was botched. It was a botched investigation from the beginning. So the FBI didn't have much to work with, period. Everything been cleaned up on Mexico end. It's a botched investigation. And it just started to make me think like, what is it that we're missing? There's something that they're not telling us, man. There is something that they're not telling us. That's for sure. It's something they just ain't telling us, man. It don't make no sense. Shout out Moha. The first 48 hours in the case is very important. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this. But we gonna get into what you know this interview right here and see what they talking about, man. Because like I said, this ain't making no sense to me.
Sue Ann Robinson. And on behalf of Pastor Walker, well, the family, we say thank you to Pastor Walker and the Little Rock AME Zion Church for opening up, opening up your doors and allowing this to take place this afternoon. I am Mario Black, founder of Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury. And we want to go ahead and get started with this afternoon. I'm going to bring up attorney Sue Ann Robinson.
Thank you for having us, Pastor. We really, truly appreciate it. We're here today. Obviously, everyone knows that the FBI has released their statement indicating that they don't plan on filing any charges after investigating Shanquella's case. So we're
Mm.
here today. We're disappointed, but we're not deterred. It's not something that's necessarily unexpected in the sense that Black and brown people always have to carve their own path to justice. Today, just sitting in the meeting with the family, listening to what was we were being advised and listening to what the so-called investigation was um, revealing, I thought back to Miss Wanda, Ahmad's mother, who had to take her case to the state attorney's office and had to beg for charges to be pressed in the death of her son. And I remembered Sandra Bland's mother, who had to do the same thing when they told us all that an investigation revealed that her cause of death was suicide. And I think most about in Shanquella's case because her attack was captured on video, and now we're being told that there aren't going to be isn't going to be an arrest or there aren't going to be any charges
Man, she sounds so hurt too. She sounds hurt. You can hear it in her voice.
brought. It reminds me of George Floyd and how we were told that while we were watching with our own eyes Derek Chauvin putting his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we were being told that he was having a heart attack and that he was suffering from a drug overdose. So while we're here disappointed, we're not deterred. We're going to continue to press on. We're going to continue to demand that there's a high level of diplomatic intervention in this case. That if the U.S. authorities are now again telling us, oh, well, it's back on Mexico because Mexican authorities have to do something, we don't have a problem with that. We
Huh.
know that we have to carve our own path to justice, and we've been doing that from the very beginning. Um, Mrs. Robinson has demonstrated tremendous strength, and I talk about it all the time, as well as Cola, her sister, having to bury a child, grieve for a child, get through all of that stuff, and then fight for justice for your child at the same time. And then being advised today, well, despite there being a video showing a vicious and brutal attack of your child while she's naked and obviously not fighting back, that there is nothing that can be done in terms of charges being filed by the FBI, that you have to seek your redress and your justice somewhere else. And that's fine. Mrs. Robinson, again, is obviously disappointed, as is all the family at the meeting today. But we're not deterred. We're still going to be marching. We're still going to rally in DC on May 19th because it shouldn't be that in this country that Black women, Black and brown victims of crime have to do this every time they are victims of crimes. But it is unfortunately what it is. And again, any discrepancies or any issues with respect to Mexican autopsy versus the autopsy conducted by the FBI, all of those things are going to be a result of a delay.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're witnessing the result of a delay, which is
Mm.
why there was always a concern, which is why I always say this is the people's case, this is the people's movement that said, hey, there's no reason why a Black woman should go on vacation with her friends, be returned to her family in a box, and nothing be done for 5 months. That the
And look, I'm just pausing this because I'm finna give y'all some information that y'all ain't gonna want to believe, but it is like she just said, it is what it is, basically. But it gets even deeper than this, and I don't know, man. Like they gonna have to fight hard to get some justice for her, man. Like everybody, like everybody gonna have to try to do something. Like all these groups and stuff, they gonna have to start tagging the police department and everything. They gotta let it be known that they want justice because I've read that they didn't even take this case that seriously. It's all documented. They're saying it. And she probably gonna tell you that too. But it's some more stuff I'm gonna hit y'all to in a minute that's gonna make y'all be like, man, that's messed up.
FBI be permitted to sit on their hands, that they be permitted to say, we're working, because justice delayed can be justice denied. We all know that and have seen it time and time again. And so that's why I say, on behalf of the family, again, we're very disappointed, very deeply disappointed. Um, but we're not deterred because it's something that we've seen before, and we know that we have to carve our own path to justice. Ms. Robinson knew that when she asked me to go on a fact finding mission to Mexico, that we were obviously in a state of affairs where there's two different justice systems in America. And we know that in ours, we have to fight for our justice. We have to rally for our justice. We have to beg for the same constitutional rights. And Shanquella is doing that even in death. Even in death, she's having to fight for her rights as a U.S. citizen, as a victim of a crime. The U.S. authorities have to understand and have to know that even if for them it's not about Shanquella, that United States citizens cannot go to Mexico, commit a crime that we all saw on a video,
Hmm.
and then come back to America and say, we're on base, we're safe, we're not going to be charged with a crime. That cannot be the message that the US authorities want to send. So, again, discrepancies caused or discrepancies in the autopsy results between Mexican authorities that we've been discussing, unfortunately, and not being discussed by the right individuals, have have all been caused by delays. If it had been taken serious from the very beginning, if the internet and the people and social media didn't have to create the movement behind the case, and the authorities would have gotten involved the minute the video surfaced, there wouldn't have been a delay. There would have been immediate statements taken from the individuals involved. There would have been time to take an immediate autopsy of the body before it was embalmed. All of those things would have been done. But because it was the death of a young, black, beautiful, brilliant, educated woman who was on vacation, justice was delayed. There was no investigation done. It was not taken seriously until the people had to say, hey, we're not going to accept that this is just what it is. This can't be just what it is. We see with our own eyes an attack, an assault, a crime happening, and nothing's being done. That came from you all. That came from the people saying, we demand answers. And today we actually ended up with way more questions than answers. And so that's why I'm determined and fully aware, and the team, Ben Crump, Tamika Mallory, Until Freedom, Mario Black, all of us, we stand with this family, and we're going to stand with this family till the very end. And
Mm.
we're going to be in Washington, and we're going to rally because we understand, unfortunately, what the job is, what the work is, and that we have to carve our own path to justice in these cases. And we've seen it time and time again. And I've said it in other press conferences. I would like to be put out of this line of business. I don't want to be here on behalf of another beautiful Black family begging for dignity and respect and basic constitutional rights. I don't want to be doing those things. But that is what it is right now. We have two separate justice systems, where one is, if you're a victim of a crime and you look a certain way, it's going to be covered by the media. It's going to be resolved in a certain way. And then we have our cases where we have to have press conferences and rallies, and we have to beg the government to intervene. And that's not okay. And that's why it's the most important work of our time. And so we're disappointed. We're not deterred. We're pressing on. We absolutely will keep you guys updated on everything that we're doing, but we're definitely pushing toward the 200th day to be in DC. We hope all that everyone can join us, because the message cannot be that US citizens can go overseas and commit crimes against other US citizens and come back and say that they're on base, that they're safe, that they're not going to be arrested, that there's going to be such a delay in the investigation that the evidence will have time to dissipate, and they'll have time to change their stories or work on the evidence. That can't be the message, because
Hmm.
this is the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we have US constitutional rights, and there's victims' rights.
And that's one thing that I was saying. They had all the time in the world to cover up the evidence. What does the when you let's just ask ourselves, what does the feds really have to investigate? They're not investigating anything in the villa. That's all cleaned up, and they ain't even got the villa no more. They done lost they contract. They can't go back there. Only thing they can really do is rely on going through their phones and stuff. And if them kids ain't saying no crazy stuff, like, what I'm saying, like, they probably knew to don't even talk about it. That's why everybody didn't want to talk about it. Anybody I reached out to that just didn't want to talk about it. You feel what I'm saying? And this is the outcome, because our culture is to don't say nothing. But even in this situation, like, you know it was a crime, but it's not like you know it's not like 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 an organized type of crime. Like, people use that word like snitching and stuff the wrong way. It's you're not a snitch unless you are involved in a crime, and you're telling on somebody to get yourself out of trouble. You understand what I'm saying? That's what when that is. It's like, if you witness somebody doing something to uh, a kid outside, and you call the police, that's not meaning you're a snitch, man. And that's what it is, the lack of evidence, the lack of people coming forward that probably know some stuff. You cannot tell me that some of these people that know her don't know, that know Dejanay, and all of them don't know some stuff. I mean, they leaked the video. It just don't make no sense.
right? And we're going to fight for that. We're going to fight for that, whether the victim of the crime is Shanquella or whether it's any black woman. We're going to fight for that because it's deserved. It's our right as U.S. citizens. So I'll have. Do you want to speak? Okay. Do you want to speak? Okay. So I can take questions.
So when you mentioned a delay, is there any kind of evidence you can share that was shared with you also the reason why the government DOJ said they?
Sure. I said there was a delay, meaning that the video was released on November 16th. So we were advised today that the US authorities didn't begin an investigation until after their own autopsy had been conducted,
I'm gonna drop the link in
which
the channel in a
would have
little
been
bit.
well after the
I'll just
video
make sure
came
that
out.
anybody that
And really,
joined,
the
just keep
bigger
it
issue
clean.
is that
No derogatory
without the video,
words.
before the video even came out, if you all remember, there was a statement released saying no foul play. Before any evidence was even
Hmm.
entered, there was a statement made saying, "Oh, there's no foul play." That statement was never retracted, but because the case was never taken seriously from the beginning,
Exactly. It was never taken serious from the beginning. And when I say from the beginning, I'm saying from when they called the doctor. The doctor that came is only supposed to come for non-emergency things. That's the jump off right there. They called a doctor that's not supposed to, that only comes for non-emergency. It all started off botched. That's all it is, a botched case.
that caused the delay. That caused Mexico to have to do their own autopsy, then the FBI to have to wait for the Robinson family to have the body transported. All of these things should have been done by U.S. federal authorities if they took the case seriously from the beginning. But it wasn't taken seriously from the beginning. The people had to move the case. We had to demand that the case be taken seriously. And those delays are going to cause discrepancies in an investigation. We all watched First 48, know
Mm.
that that time when you're investigating a murder or homicide or any crime, that you
Hmm.
have to investigate swiftly. We saw it with the kidnapping case in Mexico. Immediately, the FBI said $50,000 reward. We're moving in. We're coordinating with the Mexican authorities. They
Right. Look, and I'm gonna drop the link, but right. Look, you see what she just said? Like, they immediately got on that and look, and somebody in one of my videos, they commented under the video. They said, I bet if they drop a reward, somebody will come with some information. I was like, you sure right. I bet they will. I'm willing to bet if they drop some money for some solid information, somebody gonna come for that. I don't know why. That's what I'm saying. Like they ain't taking the case seriously. We taking it seriously, but they ain't taking the case seriously because they put a reward up for that last thing she was just talking about instantly.
There was no swift action on this case. There was absolutely no urgency on the part of the U.S. authorities. So, did I answer your question?
Yeah, I guess what discrepancy that they told you as far as like the Mexican autopsy
Oh, okay, sure. So,
that you can reveal.
yeah, absolutely, because it's going to be revealed. It's going to be the feds are going to release their results of their autopsy, which was
Mm.
done after the body was embalmed and then transported, and they're advising that there isn't a spinal cord injury. That the Mexican autopsy says there's a spinal cord injury, but according to them, there is no spinal cord injury. They're also advising that there's swelling on Shanquella's brain, but that her cause of death is
The
undetermined.
volumes are low.
If you are in an investigation, how are you closing an investigation on a case where the cause of death is undetermined, but we all have seen a video showing a brutal attack?
They told you as far as like the Mexican autopsy
Oh, okay, sure. So
that you can reveal.
yeah, absolutely, because it's going to be revealed. It's going to be the feds are going to release their results of their autopsy, which was done after the body was embalmed and then transported, and they're advising that there isn't a spinal cord injury. That the Mexican
Okay, dang. Okay, look. That's what I wanted to know. What did they come up with? So now she's telling us too. So that's why I'm glad I found this video. They're saying that they didn't find a spinal cord injury. But let's listen to what the rest she's saying. That's crazy.
autopsy says there's a spinal cord injury, but according to them, there is no spinal cord injury. They're also advising that there's swelling on Shanquella's brain, but that her cause of death is undetermined. So, to me, if you
Mm.
are in an investigation, how are you closing an investigation on a case where the cause of death is undetermined, but we all have seen a video showing a brutal attack? That doesn't, it's not giving undetermined. It's giving there's a video, and now you're telling us something else,
Wow.
not to believe our own eyes, which is why I invoked George Floyd's case, which is why I said, that was a case where we were being told, don't believe your own eyes. Don't believe that Derek Chauvin has his knee on his neck for 8 minutes. Believe that it's really a heart palpitation or he's having some sort
Okay, look. Now, true teller, look, to me, look, check this out. Like you already know how to let's don't use no derogatory words, keep it real clean because it's good right now. But to me, it makes me feel like, okay, if you look at the chain of events, they went to the president with this, wrote a letter to the president trying to get the feds to hurry up. And then like in less than a week, they closing the case. It's kind of like they said, all right, y'all want to mess with us, won't y'all do it yourself? You see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Do
Yeah.
you get what I'm
No,
saying?
it
They're
definitely
like,
does.
they're like, you want to mess with us and saying we ain't doing our job? Then you
Yeah.
do it. You do it then. That's exactly what it looks like to me.
Yeah. That's a bunch of, yeah, shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, y'all talking about putting pressure on us with, and you know how the feds work. They really do their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody got a video playing in the background. I don't know if it's D-Lin or if okay there. Look, because like no, just imagine like them being the feds and they the big dogs. They got a lot of cases that they got to do. And right after they wrote that letter to the president trying to get the feds to hurry up and all that, they're like, all right, well y'all handle it. Then we ain't doing nothing. We ain't pursuing it no more. Then how about that? It's almost like they got offended or something because we was saying that they ain't doing their job. So to me, I'm like, they probably was like, okay, since they want to be like that, let them solve the case. We got
Yeah,
more
I hear you.
cases to do.
If you hear something in the background on my side, it's just because my son has the TV down here. He's watching cartoons.
Okay. Nah, but I just want to say that I'm gonna play the rest of this video. I don't know why the audio got low. It's the video actually.
Or a drug overdose. We see the video. We see what happened. We see that she's being beaten, but we're being told that, oh, the cause of death is undetermined. And that can happen if the autopsies are delayed. That can happen. Right.
Mm,
They've indicated that whatever, that basically what they're doing is what I've talked about from the beginning, which is ping ponging. The FBI today said, well, we're not going to press charges, but Mexico could do something if they want to do. And if Mexico wants to do something, then it's no problem. We'll be fully cooperative with anything that Mexico wants to do.
hmm.
So, again, as you all know, I went to Mexico and Mexico said, we've sent everything over to you.
Yeah. See, look, we gonna get to that. Look, okay, so they if they're saying that, why they ain't extradite her yet? But watch this. I'm gonna tell you. I looked up some stuff, and I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna you're gonna be like, man.
Interpol. We've sent everything to FBI. We've sent all of our documents. We're just awaiting word from US authorities on what needs to be done next. So there's a Department of International Affairs, the Department of State, obviously, who we've contacted and sent a letter to, and they know what needs to be done. And that's what's so frustrating about the case because it's not something that's without precedence or without a protocol. And so for the United States government and for the FBI today to sit and tell myself, Mrs. Robinson, Quilla, and Mr. Robinson, that there's nothing to be done on their end. They're closing their investigation. And I guess Mexico could do something if they want to,
Mm,
is
mm, mm.
absolutely absurd. Not just for Shanquella's case, though. It's not absurd just for her case. It's absurd for any person who would be a victim of a crime overseas committed by a US citizen. How can you just say, okay, well, as long as we make it back home, we're not going to get in trouble? That makes no sense. Yes. One second. Yes.
Wow. Shout out ISIS. Yeah, man, that's how they do. We see
Yeah.
it all the time. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we see this all the time, man. We see all these cases get solved within 3 days, but something like this, it's been going on for months, just so they could turn around and say, "Hey, we ain't investigating no more. Y'all keep on messing with us." I'm telling you, you got to think about how they think. They sit up there talking about, "Hey, y'all, well, let the president do it then. Y'all writing letters to the president saying we ain't doing our job, which we just want justice." So they can drop it. You know what I'm saying? Just like just like in the Kanika Jenkins case, the states told the feds they don't want their help. You know what I'm saying? Like they be like that. This is too they be like it's like you either with us or against us. Like so, I feel like the feds probably felt like, hey, y'all sit up there saying we ain't doing our job. All right, we gonna move on to our next. You know what I'm saying? We gonna move on to our next one. Let the Mexico can do whatever if they want to, just like what she's saying. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I'm rewinding it, so I'm gonna leave it on mute for a minute so I can hear.
Exactly. And that's what exactly what we've been asking for from the beginning, which is a high level of diplomatic intervention. It's going to take more than the local FBI field office in Charlotte, with all due respect to all the work that they do. It's going to take more than that because there has to be a high level of diplomatic intervention. Heads of state have to talk to heads of state and say, listen, this is what it is. This is what happened. It's on video. We can't have US citizens do this cannot occur. How are we going to resolve this? There needs to be a result in an amendment to the treaty or whatever has to be done. But it cannot be that you can commit a crime and come back and say you're on base. That can't be the result. So between then and now, we're absolutely preparing for the rally on the 200th day on May 19th. And then we definitely are going to still be, beating down doors and asking for our meetings in terms of, the head of the International Affairs Committee and their chair and all of the things that we've been doing. We're still going to continue that. And that's why I say, on behalf of the family, we are deeply disappointed, but we're not deterred. Yes.
I know that Mexico has issued an arrest warrant, but has Mexico issued a extradition request?
Right. And I think the issue right now, and what I'm kind of alluding to, is that if an extradition request was needed, if that was the one piece that we were all here waiting for, why wouldn't there be a high level of diplomatic intervention to say, hey, there's criminals among us? They're walking around and they hurt someone. Can you get this? There needs to be communication. And the reason why there's no communication is because the case hasn't been taken seriously.
So I guess, like, to your knowledge, has Mexico issued like a formal request for extradition?
Absolutely. Like I said, I was advised by the Attorney General in Baja Sur directly. We have sent everything. They have everything. And remember, for the FBI to conduct their investigation, they've advised us we're in communication with Mexico. That's how we did our investigation to say we're not pressing charges. So if they're in communication with Mexico, why isn't
You know why? You said she don't make no sense because it don't make no sense. That's
So,
what I'm
boss,
saying.
she said earlier in the sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but so what is what is she? What do we need to do? Like, you know what I mean, to make a bigger, a bigger, not just them, and the people that are by, their family and the rallies that they're doing. Like, what can we do to, you know what I mean, bring more attention to it, like as a collective?
Man, we're just gonna have to. They're gonna have to just keep fighting. What they're gonna have to get people in higher places, man. And that's the thing. When you get people in higher places, that's when you get answers. They're gonna have to get some
That's
people
what
in
I'm
some higher
saying. Like, do we
places.
write letters to our, you know what I mean? Do we write letters to them? Do I mean, what can we do as a collective? You know what I mean? From all around that are concerned about, this case being closed and so on and so forth to get more attention to it, not just where she's from. I
I
don't know.
mean, me personally, I don't know. The only thing that I ever seen was you remember whenever I was doing that show for that missing girl, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And her mom said that nobody was taking it seriously. And then I had made the show, I scheduled it, and she shared it. I scheduled it for Friday. It was already pending show, so she shared it, and they shared it like 2,000 times on Facebook. When it came time to do my show, something was wrong with my channel. I couldn't do it.
yeah,
So the next morning, she hits me up and she said, "Look at this. All the people that shared that show, they was like, oh, that's messed up. They're saying that they trying to silence her mom, and they tagged every police department there is." She called me back like 20 minutes later, said, "I'm finna be on channel 4." You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You got that's they literally tagged. I'm talking about massive tagging. You know what I mean? Like they just
yeah.
started going crazy tagging uh Dallas, Fort Worth, Tarrant County,
Just getting
everybody,
attention to everybody.
every
Yeah,
lawyer that was tagging them, they was tagging them. Mess. I was like, oh my God, this is going crazy. And
yeah.
then she was on channel 4, channel 5, since every day. She was like, man, and they found her.
We just gotta blow
It
up
got
all
it
these
got too
agencies.
big.
Yeah,
It got so big that the dudes that had her dropped her off at the police station
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
took off.
Mm.
It got so big. Everybody, because they felt like it was a conspiracy. They felt like that they was trying to silence us. So
Yeah.
they just started tagging every department. I'm talking about US, I'm talking about all kind of people I didn't even know. All
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
politicians and everything. All these politicians got a link me, a link tree and all that. All of them.
yeah.
Every police station got a page on
Thing to link
Facebook,
it to. Yeah,
and they
Yeah.
was just tagging everybody. It was tagging everybody. Like
that's what
I don't
needs to
know
be
who
done.
started it, but they did that, and they got that girl in less than 5 days.
That's what I think. That's what needs to be done. Like all the social media platforms, and just be tagging, tag everybody, but like get everybody else to like just, you know what I mean? Just share, 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 and then tag everybody that they need to tag all around the United States,
Yeah,
regardless of where
because
it's at.
you gotta, because when they looked at it like that, see, the thing is, they downplayed the same thing with Gabriella McDonald. They try to say she was a runaway, so they wasn't really paying. They wasn't really doing no work or nothing. That's why her mom reached out and wanted to come on my channel because she said they not listening to her. She don't got no voice. She needs to get this out. But whenever everybody started tagging all these people on Facebook in higher places, oh yeah, they got her. She called me crying. She said she said I got my daughter. She said who the dudes that had her, they went from all the way from downtown. They took her from downtown. They was on them. She called the day before she called me crying because she said they was on them. They knew what apartment she was, but by the time they got there, they was gone. So they done went all the way across the city 5 days later and dropped her off close by the police station and took off.
What
So
doesn't make sense to me is they're saying that their autopsy, the feds came back
mhm,
and it said that her neck was not broken.
yeah, no
So,
spinal injury.
yeah. So to me, like, what what's next? I mean, if they're saying that, what can they do next?
I don't know. Everything is conflicting.
Yeah,
For Mexico story and now the U.S. story is conflicting.
exactly.
They saying that they don't have so that now they're like what they gonna have to do is what they're gonna have to do is the same thing that Kendrick Johnson's parents did. They got
Oh,
sponsored. They got sponsored from that lady. From Fresh Prince of Bel Air, ain't Viv.
mm-hmm,
She
mm-hmm.
like a big activist or something now, and they paid money to do their own investigation.
Oh,
They
okay.
investigated the police. Now they
Mm-hmm.
did come back and say, yeah, he didn't. It wasn't an accident, but they saying we still don't have enough proof to arrest nobody. But
Right.
one thing they're not saying it's an accident anymore. They're not saying he was climbing gym mats for sure. They didn't went and found some deleted footage. That's y'all need to check that out. It's called Finding Kendrick Johnson. That
Mm-hmm.
that thing is deep. It's like that will blow your mind. I'm trying to tell you. If you want to know anything about this history and how this stuff works and why all these cases like this get looked over, you need to watch that because it gets deep. They don't just talk about him, they go all the way back and connect all these dots of why this stuff is happening. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't even believe it. It's gonna bring a tear to your eye.
What I don't understand is how would this benefit the U.S. If they say, you know, they're closing the case. There's not enough evidence. And there is enough evidence. How does this benefit them? I'm confused on that as well.
I don't I don't think it's about benefiting them. The way that they handling it, they're acting like it's not benefiting them. They reached out to the president and all that, and they have to deal with Mexico also too. So it's like they're acting like I feel like they're acting like it's not benefiting them to
Yeah.
investigate the case.
Mm,
I'm gonna reach out to there's a couple of YouTube channels like I don't want to say them on you, but they're retired officers, and they
Hmm.
bring attention to cases, and they have a huge following. So I'm going on my laptop right now, and I'm gonna try to bring attention to it, to see if maybe they'll bring more attention to it because they have a huge following. So see
mm.
what happens. So I'm gonna do on my end. I'm gonna try to do what I can do.
But I'm just
Yeah,
saying, why would our feds want this to go away?
but probably because like I don't want to say it, but you know how you got to understand how the laws is, man. I feel like they were like, hey, y'all saying we ain't doing our job. We the feds. Do you not know who he is?
Hmm.
We can drop this case anytime. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like whenever you get pulled over, you really have. What am I getting pulled over for? You know when you ask them that, that's its on.
Right.
It's on.
Do you have
You
the
know what I'm
link
saying?
to this press conference that she's doing? Can you put it in the back chat for me
The link. Let me see if I can get it.
if you're able to? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, man. Like I'm. Look at this. You know how I do on my show. I keep it real. As soon
Right.
as I read that, as soon as I read that this article, I got a vision in my head like the feds talking to each other, like, oh, okay, so they're gonna go to the president, talking about we ain't doing our job. All right, well, we could just drop it anyway. We don't have to do it. We don't have to do this. We got a whole bunch of cases to do, and that's what it sounded like. They just dropped it,
Yeah. That's so sad.
and that's what happens whenever we be trying to get justice. That's that's what happened, and that's all that happened. It's plain to see. If you look at the chain of events, they brought that letter to the president attention. I don't know what happened behind the scenes after that. If they got into any arguments or whatever, but soon after that, now they dropping the case.
Right.
So it's like they're like, all right, shoot, we don't have to do this.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like she Miley Ray Cyrus or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't trying to be funny, but that's what it sounds like, right?
Right. And
that's how it
and this
is.
this is my other question. Okay, so if Mexico did their autopsy and their autopsy shows that she had a broken neck, wouldn't they have X-rays to show that? I mean,
Hmm.
I'm trying to understand how is it that they don't see the same thing? That's just so I can't understand that part.
Because it's botched. It's a botched investigation.
But a
It's a
broken neck,
botched.
broken
Yeah,
neck.
because but see, now the thing is, now they're saying that it wasn't. It was.
Right,
So now the question is it is or what was it? What you know
right.
what I'm saying? Is it
But
is or is it isn't?
but wouldn't they take X-rays to see that her neck was broken? How? I'm just
Yeah,
confused.
they would. Yeah, they
I
should take
mean,
H2 X-rays.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that they have given they you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure they have their little X-rays and all that, and then the U.S. they got theirs too. I'm pretty sure of that.
Well, if I
But
was to
like
see
but
both,
like I'm saying with these cases, when you see, look, that's the thing. That's the thing. Whenever you got people in higher places, like Mexico, they know how to mess up a case, man. Like
yeah,
we got every case out of the handle that they ain't never been solved. You know how it starts off? Just like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Kendrick Johnson's case. Nobody ever thought about who called the police and said a kid was jumping on top of mats and fell. Nobody witnessed that. And when you go to the finding Kendrick Johnson, uh, the documentary where they did their own investigation, they investigated the kids. Kids said, no, nobody ain't never seen that. Like we don't jump on top, we don't run on top of we don't run on top of the gym mats. Sometimes we'll hide our shoes under it from the bottom, but we don't never get on top of gym mats. So ask yourself who made that call. Now, the dude that they're trying to say in Kendrick Johnson case, dad worked for the FBI.
hmm
So just like whenever you make who made that call to say it was an accident from the beginning, just like Shanquella, they made a call like it's an accident. They all was alerted like it's just a non-emergency. You get what I'm saying? In Kanika Jenkins' case, that whenever so she must have walked in the freezer. So whenever they came, they stepping all over the freezer. They ain't supposed to do that. They supposed to have that stuff on their shoes and stuff because they're just coming to come pick up an accident. You get what I'm saying? It was
right.
never a crime investigation from the beginning.
But I
Now,
was watching.
somebody now my point what I was trying to say is somebody in a higher place got to push that narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the captain or something like that. And Johnson case said, "Hey, a kid was over there running on mats. Go clean it up. It was an accident." Because they said nobody didn't call that in, but who you? How the police come and say it was an accident?
Wow. Maybe because the ambulance was called.
Well, on Kendrick Johnson's case,
Oh, okay. Talking about Kendrick. Okay.
yeah, because look, this what I'm saying. Whenever somebody make a call, it's gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a big dog to make the call. The big dog is gonna send out all these police officers. They're gonna pick which ones. Officer Jeff, Tim, you. There was an accident down there. Just go ahead and clean it up. It was an accident, and they're gonna take it like that from the get go. Now, if
Right.
they say if they was like, I think it was some criminal negligence, then they're gonna come investigate it.
Right.
But all these cases that we're talking about, they took it as a non-emergency like
So they
accident from the
contaminated
get-go.
any evidence that might have been there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because they didn't come to treat no crime. They
Right.
didn't come with gloves on and stuff. They didn't
Right.
come with they didn't call forensics to
Mm.
come.
And
You see what I'm saying?
you wouldn't think that your friends that you're on this vacation with would do you any harm. And if any harm did happen, you would think that they would have the decency to say, "Hey, it was a
What's up,
fight."
Valerie?
And then after the fight, she started acting weird. That's what they should have said. Not, we think she has alcohol poison.
Yeah, that was the whole mess up, and that was the whole play, because whenever they said alcohol poisoning, the doctor came over there on some simple stuff, a little IV. They didn't treat it like it was an emergency or any kind of criminal activity going on. So
Right.
what that lady is saying all this time is what delayed it. Yes, it's delayed it because if they would have came on deck like they do a lot of situations. Have you noticed, like, it don't matter if you can call the police yourself. They gonna try to come arrest you. And you be like, no, I'm the one that called it. They normally come investigating. You feel me?
That's what's so crazy about this case. People get arrested all the time that didn't even commit the crime. Here you got
Hmm.
people on video committing a crime and they don't want to go arrest them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they ain't even really do no hard investigation. But like, even out here, you can see something and call the police. They gonna come up to you and ask you 1,000 questions, run you, make sure you don't got no warrants or none of that stuff. None of that didn't happen in this case.
Mm,
They gonna interrogate you, and you the one that called for help.
exactly.
You know what I
That's why,
mean? But
like,
in this case, they ain't even really do nothing.
yeah, write down on a piece of paper what happened. I feel like that's what
Hmm.
getting collected the piece of paper.
Or just say that she got in an accident or like she fell or something instead of versus it, but they were just trying to buy time to be able to come back over here to the States is what it was. But even if they would have said she got in an accident, they probably would have came at it the scene of maybe a little bit different too as well. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's all the way that it's like she's saying. It's the way that these crimes, in the manner that they're taken in the very beginning. Just like they say, the first 48 is the most important.
Right.
Now, if they come into with the intentions that, oh, she just fell down the stairs, they're not investigating any criminal activity, and
Exactly.
that's gonna lose time because after that, what happens? The villa gets cleaned up, the kids is gone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just how. If you pay attention to a lot of these crimes that don't get solved, that's the problem.
And it being a resort, they're going to want to clean it up as quickly as possible because they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to scare off any customers or any.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Now, if they would have just left that resort, didn't touch it, if the, because you got, let's say if Mexico felt like it was a crime, then that's what would have happened. But see, you got the doctor, you got you got all these people that's in a higher position saying no, it was alcohol poisoning. But if Mexico took it like it was a crime, they would have boarded that villa off and had forensics go in there. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And try to find anything. But that wasn't done because the narrative was already what they was going for. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but the thing that messes me up is how do why they just go with that narrative like but out here it's you know out here like you can barely even call the police without them automatically thinking you did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you can literally like I've seen people call the police and go to jail.
But you know
Yeah.
what they say in Mexico, their police officers and stuff are not trained like our police officers. So they are poorly trained. So they don't even know how to properly really investigate a crime scene. So that's the reason
Hmm.
why in Mexico there are so many cases that are not solved.
Yeah, and and with and like I say with this situation, like I believe it's just pick and choose. Like they didn't solve many crimes in Mexico. It's just a pick and choose. You gotta look at the situation. It's seven black kids tourists in a nice area ran by probably a big dog. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
They said alcohol poisoning. Hey, we just gonna go with that. They did
And
not come at them kids like, hey,
And then
maybe
they
you
don't want to
did
mess with
something.
the United States and Mexico. You know, they don't want to have to deal with the back and forth and whatever the case may be if it's a big dog owning the
mhm.
resort.
And from what I hear, the big dog is it may be a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, they own man. You just
You know,
look at this. Look at this.
And
A
they'll
so
person
probably
if
that
charge you too.
a person that owns a villa. Imagine how much money they get. Like I mean, not the villa, but this. It's not just a villa. It's an actual resort.
exactly,
How much money you think a person that got a resort? How many connections you think they got? That's
exactly.
somebody you don't want to
It,
mess with, man. That's
it's
billions and billions of dollars.
right, especially in that resort or that area. That's where all the money is.
He probably funding the U.S. and you see what I'm saying? The U.S. and Mexico.
Mhm.
It's some people out here with a lot of money that you ain't gonna never hear about that own all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't understand. Like, okay, TransUnion, right?
Mhm.
They do your credit, right?
Right.
I work for them. Do you know how much stuff they own? They own Jaguar. They own all the mining factories. They own almost like 50%. Like, they the ones that be building the freeways and everything. I was like, oh my God. They own everything. I thought it was just a little credit company. They got life insurance. They own everything. These people that own this stuff, man, they rich, man. And you ain't finna get to them like that. You ain't finna mess up their business. They know people in higher places, and that's why I say they're gonna have to definitely get somebody in higher places. And the thing about it is money talking, money talks in America, man, and it definitely talks in Mexico, big time. We all know that money talk. So in this situation, just like like what's that dude, like the Eric Gardner, whatever she's talking about. He got justice because look, there's just some police. They are big dogs. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna affect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not gonna affect nothing to get to give them a little manslaughter charge, and they probably get out in a couple of years. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I
right
was
now, you tell you dealing with some big dogs.
I was thinking, okay, because like the whole report, like what they're saying, they don't know the cause of death, the neck wasn't broken. I'm thinking like, well, maybe they're coming out saying this because you know they're talking about going before Congress or the president or whatever. And maybe
Hmm.
they're doing it to buy more time because they just really just need more time to investigate. And they are looking at like, oh, here they go making a big mess or all
Hmm.
this noise about the case. We need more time, so we just gonna say we closed it.
I don't know. I mean, I think they close because she said that they finna release all the all the information that they got too. So the feds once they close the case, then that's when they tell you what they got. So that's why she's telling you that they didn't find a spinal injury. So I think
Right.
they really is closing it. You know what I'm saying? They like I could just tell they
They
really saying they not doing nothing. Unless
really
unless something now a case can always be reopened now.
right, because I'm thinking that they know that this is going to have to be reopened because you just gonna come out and say you don't know the cause of death. The spine, there was no injury to the spine. Um, so we're closing the case. That don't make no sense. You don't know the cause of death? What?
And I think, like how he said, like they feel like they stepped on their toes because they went to Mexico and got that information. You know what I mean? So then they're
Right.
like kind of like the prideful kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, these yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's 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 why I be comparing this because just like the Kanika Jenkins case, Chicago police don't like the feds. The feds is investigating them. So when they came in and said, "Hey, we will help on this case because it's just weird," they told them no. And I didn't even know that you could do that. You could tell the feds
Right.
no. I didn't know
Exactly.
you could do that. And the feds is showing you now, hey, we can stop a case any we can stop it any time. They just
Mhm.
showing you this. It's all right in front of our face. They literally just look. It was no information being dropped, and all of a sudden now they ain't pursuing nothing.
Yep. And then with the
They
feds,
done.
you had more resources to be able to investigate. And if they shut it down, then that limits the resources with the regular police department or whoever else is investigating locally.
Yeah, yeah. They shut it down. They got all the resources, and they done. So pretty much they're gonna probably start showing what they might have found in the phones. I don't know. Some of the information might be still be private, but like she said, they're gonna start releasing some of the stuff they got in their investigation, and I feel like it was just botched, and even the way that it happened, like I know people think that it doesn't matter, but the way they coerced it made it even more weirder because they whatever condition she was in, they took advantage of it because they made her agree to. She agreed to to knock. She agreed to fight.
Mm.
And probably not even knowing what she getting herself into. You can hear like well, and they was so slick with it. They didn't record what Dejanay was telling her. They hit record like once they both agreed. And she said, "Oh," she said, "Okay." And then they said, "Okay, let's go." And then you see what I'm saying? So the way the whole case itself is just like is wild. Like they were really it's so crazy because they were so negligent, but the rate of negligence that they had going on made it to where somehow they got lucky. You get what I'm saying? What's up, FedEx?
Hey, babies, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Doing good.
Flex. Hey.
Yes, I
Hey, let's
missed
try to
you
keep
guys.
let's try to keep it clean. No, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
No,
baby, I got it because
no.
my
I'm saying that
son
to
is
everybody.
work and I
I
got
got
it tonight,
I,
y'all. Don't worry about that.
I got to get my money. You know, what I'm saying? I got to
I
get my
know that.
money. I got to
You
get
know what?
paid for
You
this.
stop me at my tracks, don't you?
Hmm. I used to get turned up just like you, but that
Baby, I'm
messed up
good
my
tonight.
money.
I'm good tonight, y'all. I'm good. And it's so sad. This is
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
sad.
it is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They got lucky with the amount of negligence they did. They got lucky for
Yes,
some reason.
sir. Yes, sir. But you know what? God is good. You know that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this
Because,
karma gonna come around.
yes, sir.
I think this is just supposed to be a big message for people. Period, man. People that's traveling with your
Hmm.
friends and all that. This is supposed to be a message.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
Yeah,
messages.
think twice before you know what I'm saying, before you do
Even
all
if
that.
you're going to Mexico, listen, not only that, you have you could be in your same hometown, baby. So
Hmm.
they can do what they do, right? And kept doing what they're doing, right? Karma gonna hit them at home. Karma gonna hit them at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Somebody. It
see,
all it
and that's
takes is
and that's
one
and that's
karma.
and that's the thing is you don't never want to go nowhere without somebody that you know is solid. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like, but when I go to the club, I got a partner with me. I know he finna knock. It ain't gonna be no. You know what I'm saying?
that's
I'm bringing some
right.
fam. You gotta have somebody that's solid. Khalil was not solid.
Hmm.
It
You
would
know
have
what the
never
No.
thing is
happened.
too is
That
that
look,
they're gonna
that was
think that
supposed to. If she had one solid person there, that would have never happened. They would have got in front of Daisy and they said, "No,
yeah,
we're
I
not
they
doing
didn't
I,
care
this."
about that.
I
Yeah.
feel like that was Nazir if he was there, because just think about how it wasn't until Nazir landed that they decided to call to get help.
Hmm.
That's when they decided to call to get when he was on his way.
Then yeah, and I think
Yeah.
too as well, but see them not doing anything and pursuing this is going to make people think that they can go to Mexico, do this, this kind of crime, you know what I mean? Commit
Hmm.
crime and then just fly
Right.
back and then they're not going to be held accountable. It's not setting any examples for anybody. So they're going to think, oh, well, that's all we have to do. You know what I mean? Is go to
Yeah,
another country.
it made me scared.
Yeah.
Mexico, hell, if it's that.
Hey, but no, I do agree with what you said about when Nazir pulled up, it changed because he wasn't a part of it. So they can't tell him and he look, you know what I'm saying? So they definitely had to play the part even more when he got there because he wasn't a part of it. He don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So he was probably like, "Man, what's going on, man? Why is he probably asked why is her lip busted?" You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's as soon as he got there, then yeah, they started calling for more help, and then Winter called, and then I don't understand why people keep saying about this ambulance. Winter called 911.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You can call the ambulance. She
Yeah,
called
but
them.
you know what? One thing I gotta say about that is, even when he came back and made that video, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
When he's listen, that's why I always saying that the United States had something up. I know Mexico did had both parts going on. Don't get me wrong, but I knew that USA thought was technically they shouldn't have tried their best to go through Mexico. Because USA, for this dude, if they listen, if FBI did, I know they maybe listen. Evidently they did not listen to Nazir's thing because he said it's more, like it's more bigger than we think it is.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? On that part alone, y-
We
what
don't
you
know like
mean by that?
what kind of a pool maybe like the parents might have for those, for the other
You're
kids.
right.
We
For
don't
him
know what
to
kind of
say that, and you gonna
connections they might
tell
have.
us now, it's
Look,
nothing to
look,
investigate.
Lady Sheena said we don't know for sure if he was a part of hurting her, but the thing about it is I don't know why people keep saying that because we know he wasn't there. He wasn't there at the dinner or none of that. He wasn't
We're just
there.
Yeah,
saying
and
he
what's in
said
there
it.
Look, you ain't you
signed
didn't
his
we didn't see
name.
him. We didn't
And
see
not
him.
only
Look this,
that,
look this, look this.
okay,
The,
baby, go ahead.
them kids filmed the whole most of the trip and all of the
They
fun, the party.
did.
Nazir was not there, man. He wasn't in no footage. He probably
Right.
would have been in the footage like, yeah,
And
just like the
and
rest
the
of them. I
sign
mean,
into
come
the
on.
resort, Dejanay signed his name because they said they couldn't check it. Something about they couldn't check everybody. Don't quote me on it, but they couldn't check
Hmm.
everybody in unless, like everybody had to come at once. So she signed his name at the when they come in. So he
Yeah,
Right.
wasn't there
Right.
yet, but she signed his name
But
on the.
why? Listen to baby. But how can
everybody that
Shanquella be there first? Listen, because
everybody that was there, we seen them on camera.
yeah, but
It's
Shanquella was
recorded.
there in the daytime. Not what I mean by by that time, but they 8 o'clock. They said she was there between 8 and 8:30, right? It's that sunset is going down. So just check this out now. It was two people, whoever said on that little report that it was two people that was there before. We already know that Shaquella was there. It was showing that she showed us literally on the pictures. It's videos showing her that she was there daylight time. So even though Deja Nay was not there when she got there. So it's so much going on with this case.
I
Nazir did
mean, I
say
don't,
it's bigger than what we
I
know.
don't, I don't know because I come to find out some of these videos that when we see them on the plane and stuff,
Mm.
that's not even a trip to Cabo. They've been on different. See,
Yes, I feel
I
you.
done went and see people putting together these videos, and that's not even a trip to Cabo.
I feel
We
you.
know
I
the trip to
feel
Cabo.
you.
We know what happened. We know the trip to Cabo. Around the time they made it there, what Quilla mom said that they was finna eat. That's fully recorded. We see the chefs. We see Malik. We see Khalil. We see Winter. We see Elise. We see Shanquella. You see what I'm saying?
And
We
And
Dejanay.
no,
Winter.
we
And
heard
Winter.
voice.
And
And
Winter.
Dejanay.
And
Was
Winter.
that
And
her?
Dejanay.
Is
We
that
see
her
all of them.
voice trip that she took with all of them?
No, that's not the first. I think they
No,
went
I
on.
said with the whole crew, the ones that was there. Is that her first trip?
Yeah, that's her first trip that I've seen
Then
that she went with
But
them.
the thing, okay, now you said the picture that we said, that I feel what you're saying, but like, she took a lot of trips. We
Hmm.
don't know where she was at, okay? In the house alone, okay? Like the doors and stuff like that. When
Hmm.
she's about the doors. Listen to this. Even at the table, you can hear her voice.
Yeah, she said we in this big ASS mansion. That's what
and
she said.
when they were playing that card game or whatever that card game that they were playing,
Yeah,
and
she
if you
was
look at their
laughing and she
outfit,
was
they're all
playing
wearing
with
the
him.
same
Yeah,
same
same
outfit.
clothes.
Something is
Yeah.
not right. Something ain't right with the whole program.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
when she went skinny dipping, remember they said that she went skinny. Was it in the morning time because, or in the, was it the
I
same day or was it in the morning?
and you know what?
That was the
And you know
afternoon. If you look at the picture, that was in the morning.
and you know what? I'll come to find out from what I'm seeing, that's a whole nother trip where she is
Me
doing that.
too. I agree
That's
because
not even at the villa from what I'm
I
getting
agree
now.
that I agree with that because that picture when she was skinny dipping,
Because
it was
c-
afternoon. It was
yeah,
very
yeah, it was.
daylight.
And then if you pay attention, whenever she was looking for them, talking about going, skinny dipping, that was at nighttime. And they
Hmm.
wasn't feeling it.
Yep, I feel you. Yep, I
And
noticed
where
that too.
so if they did go swimming, where's the footage of that? She recorded everything else.
And that's we're gonna get back to United States with the FBI. You feel what I'm saying? They are so wrong, wrong, wrong. They are so wrong because the case is really let Mexico do what they do. They got the warrant on that child. Let her go on through. That's how I feel. Let that go.
Okay. Look. So now this is the bombshell that I want to drop.
Drop it, baby, drop.
Look, they said that I'm looking at the whole police report from the feds. They said it's unusual for feds to extradite their people.
It,
It never happens.
that's
It
what.
They
does
don't
happen.
never ex. They
That's
said
what
it
I
hardly.
heard.
They said it hardly. It says right here in writing.
Yeah.
It's unusual. It didn't happen before, like on some big dog stuff, but
Right,
not on
right.
some like if it's a
And
big kingpin, yeah. But this
and they
type of
don't
stuff,
want
they're
to
saying
send
it
them
don't
back
never
over
normally
Oh,
happen.
hold
and they
on.
don't
But it was a
because
dude, like, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 years ago when they killed his wife there. He left and came back here. No, it could be 4 or 5 years ago. You literally, he went back to Mexico. He's in Mexico now. So I don't
Yeah,
know
look,
what they're talking about. I don't
I
know
don't
what they're
know.
talking about.
I don't. Look. I'm
it's a
not the
No,
feds, but I'm
me
just
and you
saying
good. I'm just saying.
I can only go off of what they said.
Oh, so
They
that
said they
ain't
look
nothing.
this is what I'm saying. They don't often extradite U.S. citizens,
citizens. Yeah.
and that's a fact. You can
And that
look it up.
in
They do
my
not do
Then.
that often. And
I
in
was
They
this case,
did.
it seems like they probably ain't gonna do it because why they ain't did it
Yeah,
yet? Why
yeah,
they
right.
ain't do it
yeah. I
yet?
agree.
And
If
they
they
don't
can,
want
if they look at this, as soon as they canceled the investigation, shouldn't she be already getting shipped off?
exactly. Right.
That's right. You're
But
right.
they
I
don't want to.
agree.
They don't
I
want
agree.
They could have been shipped. Look
Ooh,
at this.
baby.
Look at this. They could have been shipped her off and still did their investigation.
The
mm,
wrong decade, baby. That's all. Give it.
They
Is
could
it
have been did that.
10 years ago? Let me tell you something. She don't have no brothers, but if it was 10, if she had some brothers, uncles, 10 years ago, it wouldn't. They didn't have to go back to Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, now Quilla do have people, but like I said, the way, you know, cause
They
even
should have
her
been
look,
gone by now.
even look at
They
this,
should have been
even
gone
even
by now.
even look even her sister said, she told me, she said, now whenever her mom told Khalil to bring everybody that was there, they came. And she said she had all her kin folks in there looking at them crazy.
They
Like,
should have took
but
them
the
out
thing
that day.
is, but the thing is, if the police said alcohol poison, how you gonna jump on somebody? Now you gonna go to jail.
Right.
That's true. No,
If the
listen, I
police
didn't say
report
I was
said,
a war.
you know what I'm
Listen,
saying? If the police report says that, that's the reason why they couldn't do
the real
she said
boss. Let me tell you
she
something.
said they was waiting on them to mess up or
Listen,
say
real
something
boss. I
funny.
didn't say I was. I had that courage, right? I didn't say that, right? I didn't say it, but I have still do, but ain't nothing happening like that in my family. But I had. I mean, I can give you some names. I'll let you guys Google them up right now, literally right now today. I'm gonna tell you something. That little took them out. I don't care if they couldn't get you there. If they thought you were there, whoever was there was gonna be got. So what I'm saying is, this is effed up.
Yeah,
Effed
and it got
up.
and it got national attention. So you gotta think about this. You talking about cases that didn't get national attention. That like because
Oh,
and
mine
and, and,
did.
and look, I'm talking about like national, like this case
No,
right
mine
here.
did. My family members.
Everybody
I
in the
told
world
you to Google them.
everybody in the world talking about this case in Hong Kong, China. They talking about this case. Whenever you got something like that going on, you think the laws ain't waiting on you to do something? I've been in a situation to where something happened to, I know something happened to some people I know, and everybody sitting in the crib, you know what I'm saying, talking about what we gonna do, and the laws pull up and say, hey man, we know that we know y'all trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? You better move out of, you better stay out the way. You see
I'm
what I'm
talking
saying?
about
Like,
80s and 90s,
because look, this is the
early
thing.
2000s, baby.
This is the thing.
Mine take you guys, not me. And I tell you, they wouldn't even tell me. I wouldn't even know. I don't want them to do that. I prefer to take it to the courts.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying to you that if it was my child, if it was my child, it still wouldn't listen. All I would have known it was done. I wouldn't have known who had did it. But I'm just saying, they lucky right now. They lucky right now.
I mean, that's why they left the city, but that's why I'm saying, like, this is a different type of case. It was already ruled alcohol poisoning. So how you going, you get what I'm saying? So when the video got out, of course, the kids got out dies because they know they finna feel some heat from North Carolina.
Right.
But when and now the feds involved, so in a lot of ways they're protected because the feds need information from them.
They don't need nothing from them.
No, they need information.
I
That's
said
why.
they
That's why they.
don't.
That's why
They
they
don't.
can't. That's
I
why they
don't think
can't.
they're gonna watch them like that no more.
No, I'm saying from they need information from the Cabo Six.
They don't no more.
Not no more. I'm saying in the beginning when the case started. That's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
we talking about now.
When the case started, what I'm saying is when the case started. Look, I've heard everybody say, "Oh, we would have did this. We would have went to Mexico." No, when the case started, it was already and the feds is involved and all that. What are you gonna do?
No, they can't.
You can't.
But
What
the
can you
feds
do?
was not involved at first.
No, the
They
feds.
pushed the feds. They
Look at this.
asked the feds to get it.
Whenever this is what I'm saying. Whenever the case went viral, now when all the things is on the table, nobody didn't know nothing. Remember, her mom didn't know nothing. They didn't even know they just barely seen the video. Then when the feds got involved,
The feds
that
never got
brought.
involved. The feds. Listen now. Did you listen? Now you know.
What are you
Oh,
talking
girl,
about,
hold on for a
FedEx?
minute. Who was that girl name? I,
D-Lin, anybody, when did the feds get involved in this case?
Now, I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. Now, what I'm saying, what that girl name is, do you know that girl said that the autopsy that the FBI said they never said, they just said it was like inconclusive. They don't know how. This heifer is saying, excuse me, that she didn't have a broken neck or a spine or nothing like that. That's a lie. Where they heading at? No one
That's what
said
that's
that.
that's what the U.S. autopsy is saying.
No, they said they couldn't come to no conclusion. That didn't mean
No,
that her neck or head is not
no,
broken
we just
and bombed.
I just showed it. They
Not
said
you, not you, baby,
no.
not
I'm
you.
saying listen. I
No, it
just
says
showed it.
as in every
They said
case
that
under
they said
consideration.
that they did not that in their autopsy they do not see a spinal injury.
Yeah,
That's what
it
they're
says for
saying, and that's
federal
why they dropping the
prosecution.
case.
The government must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed. It says the Department of Justice said in a release statement, based on the results of the autopsy and after a careful deliberation and review of the investigative
Hmm.
materials by both U.S. attorneys offices, federal prosecutors informed Mrs. Robinson's family today that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution.
And
Exactly.
no, no, no. Did you hear what you said? It did not support. Hold on. It did not support. You know why? Because her body was embalmed. Listen, you gotta think of what they. No, I didn't. I hear what you guys are saying. I didn't literally say y'all said that, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you what she said because they couldn't. You know, she's been embalmed. They said by that time when
Yeah,
should
but
have been right
they
there
can
or
still
what?
see if they can still see. Look, they
I know
had
they could. I know
look
they
at this.
could.
They reopened. Look at this. They dug up Kendrick Johnson 4 times. The fourth
They
time
can dig up.
they
And
found
they
out that
can
he
dig
got
her up
yeah
again too.
the fourth time they had their own investigator do it, and they say he got hit in the chest with a barbell. It's trauma to his chest and internal bleeding, and that's been I'm talking about this is like 7 years of redigging and doing that.
Do you believe in the government? Do you really trust the government? That's all I'm gonna ask you right now. Do you trust the government?
I mean,
This,
I trust the government to do
hold on,
exactly what
hold
they
on,
been.
hold on. But do you literally 100% believe the government? I'm not
Look,
fussing with you because you my boy. I'm not.
no, no, I'm trying to explain it to you in the most genuine,
Okay,
understandable
go ahead,
way.
baby. Go ahead, baby. Go
I
ahead.
trust the government to do the same stuff they always been doing, man.
They didn't do nothing because they didn't
Yeah,
do nothing
exactly. I mean,
before
that's
her
what I'm
body got
saying. So, yeah,
abandoned.
when you ask me, do I trust them?
No, I don't. I don't.
I trust people
I
to
don't.
do the
Did
same
you
stuff
hear
they
my mama's
always been
story?
doing.
It's
The
like
heroes, no,
just
you.
like they
I
did when
gotta
they
give
tried
you
to
your email, so I
expel
can give
those
you your
two
email.
things.
I'm gonna give you my email, and my. I'm gonna give you my. I'm gonna get your email. And I'm gonna give you mine, so I can discuss my mama because I'm very hurt. I am
Mhm.
very hurt, so I'm just gonna just let you guys know from the FBI. Because of the FBI, baby, 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 baby. No, no, no. No, 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 no. That's why I asked you that. Do you believe in them? Do you trust in them? A
Man,
hundred percent.
but that's what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying?
I got you. I got
I'm
you,
not new
baby.
to this. I know what they do, and I
They
And I
trust that they're
ain't
basically
gonna
new
they're
to
gonna
I
brush
ain't
it
new
off
to
as
none
if
either. That's
nothing
what
ever
and
I
I
happened.
said.
trust that they're gonna keep doing the stuff they always been doing, man.
They ain't doing nothing.
Locking up the wrong
They
people, putting
they
charges on
put
wrong
the
people,
name on it. They put the
arresting,
name on it.
letting people that do real heinous crimes get off. You know all that. They've been doing it.
Okay, okay, I respect that. I respect that.
Look what they've been doing since the 50s and 60s. Like I used to sit on the porch with my grandmama that's like 90 years
Me
old. She
too.
done told me stories, so I already know how it go down. You know
And
what
then
I'm
a
You
lot
saying?
of it
already
has to do
know.
with
Listen,
politics
I
too.
don't care if
Politicians,
they
who's
tell
running for
you.
this, who's
They
running for
didn't
that.
say if listen, they're telling you, listen. And I tell you what, if they didn't see no, let me see X-ray. FBI. Let me see if she embalmed. It doesn't matter because it's gonna show. So I now we and everybody else that's reporting this for Shanquella Robinson. Listen, we need to X-ray.
She said that they finna release it
Let
because
it go, because I'm gonna tell you what I
they
know
said
from
they finna
my
release it.
sister.
But let's listen to what this is the lawyer that's standing behind
I
her.
already heard it. I already heard
That's
it. I just want to say I want to
no,
know if
I want to
my
finish
and
it. I
my
didn't
sister
finish
got
it.
hit by a car. So you remember I told you that. So I already know the difference from it. So I want to see the X-ray. I want to
Yeah,
see it.
I know, but for my viewers, I want them to finish seeing the rest of this interview
Okay, baby,
with the lawyer
I'm be quiet.
because I haven't seen
No,
it
no, no,
all. I haven't
you
even
gonna
seen
mute
all
me.
of it
So I'm
either.
be quiet.
No, I haven't seen all of it either. But she dropping some gems. She basically
I
saying what we
saw it
saying.
all. That's
Part of the
what I'm saying. I'm
communication.
stepping
Hey
too
guys,
ahead. So
forgot to
let me
drop off
shut
the
up.
extradition paper.
See, listen to her.
So just to be clear, so
I'm
in
sorry,
essence,
baby.
Watch,
this
watch this. Watch
request for
what she just said.
They hurt someone. Can you get this? There needs to be communication. And the reason why there's no communication is because the case hasn't been taken seriously.
so I guess like to your knowledge, has Mexico issued like a formal request for extradition?
Absolutely. Like you said, I was advised by the Attorney General in Baja Sur directly. We have sent everything. They have everything. And remember, for the FBI to conduct their investigation, they've advised us we're in communication with Mexico. That's how we did our investigation to say we're not pressing charges. So if they're in
Mm,
communication with Mexico, why isn't part of the communication, hey guys, forgot to drop off the extradition paperwork?
right.
Just to be clear, so Mexico has sent a request for extradition. Has the State Department said that they've received it, or have they said how
The
they would
State
respond?
Department has not advised. What I'm saying is, and what I've said since I went to Mexico, which is they have advised all the documents they need to submit have been submitted. So now we're being advised, well, we're not going to press charges in the United States. Maybe Mexico's going to do something. So the point is, if you're having ongoing communication because you're involved in an investigation and you really give a damn, then that's a very simple communication. Hey guys, we're not going to be able to press charges, but you guys go ahead and prepare your extradition paperwork so we can get it sorted out since there's criminals over here just running around free and it's hurting an American family. That's a very simple communication.
Prior to the update that went out this afternoon, what was the last communication that you had with the U.S. Attorney's Office
The U.S. Attorney's Office in Mexico,
and the U.S.?
we were not communicating with the U.S. Attorney's Office in the United States. We were communicating with the FBI and the State Department.
And what was the most recent update you had gotten on the case prior to the one that was released
Oh,
today?
we were all getting the same update, which is we were investigating. Yeah, for the last 5 months.
I know the last time we spoke, you mentioned that you were meeting with White House officials last week or the week of April 1st. Did that meeting happen and what happened in that case? And then from the FBI, I'm trying to get more clarity. What are they saying they need, or what is the thing that they're saying they're missing? If they're saying, Mexico wants to press charges, we can move on, whatever, but an extradition request has been filed, arrest warrant has been filed. What are they saying is the missing piece so they can, move forward with? I just want to get that.
Okay, so two questions. Right. We are still going to White House and we are still moving towards that because our belief has always been from the beginning that it's always going to be bigger than the local feds in Charlotte. That it's going to take a high level of diplomatic intervention because heads of state have to talk to heads of state. That's just the bottom line. It's a transnational criminal case. And so it's going to take a little bit more, especially because it all involves one of us. Again, I hate to keep repeating that in the Mexican kidnapping case, that was the most swift action ever. So saying to Shanquella's family, oh, we had to look around, it took us a while, we had to wait to get this autopsy result, is absolutely disingenuous because swift action could have been taken if it was taken seriously from the beginning. And then what was the second part of the question?
What was the missing piece? Well, actually,
Oh,
to
okay.
piggyback off of that, so I know you said you were supposed to meet the week of April 3rd. Are they receptive to meet with you, or are they pushing that behind you?
Well, the issue is everyone is ping ponging against everyone else. So first, you have to meet with this person in order to meet with this person in order to have a meeting with this. So we have now completed this piece, which again, we're disappointed by what was said today, but we're not deterred. So that's what I'm saying. We're continuing on our same path to the rally on May 19th and to have meetings with
Shout
heads
out
of
to that
state.
boy
You met
Samuel.
with FBI Charlotte today. Talk to me a little bit more about that meeting, and then what are they saying is the missing
So what's years there is not a missing piece. So I don't want there to be a narrative saying that there's a missing piece. There's no missing piece. There's a video. Her cause of death is currently undetermined, and they've advised based on their own autopsy that they cannot determine a cause of death for Shanquella. Her autopsy that was took place in the United States was done after her body was embalmed, which means that there was a delay, obviously. Um, there's an undetermined cause of death and a video showing her being beaten. So you tell me what the missing piece is.
Well, I guess if so I guess the question is, so if Mexican authorities are saying, hey, here are all the paperwork, requests and so forth. So what would be necessary for them to actually extradite someone? You know,
So
or,
so I'm not I unfortunately am not able to be present for the supposed conversations between Mexican authorities and United States authorities on this particular case, right? I can only say what I was advised. So the Mexican authorities are saying to me, hey, listen, we don't mind giving you our investigative packet. Here it is. This is exactly the documentation that we've already sent to Interpol and the FBI. So then the FBI says, I mean, we could do something if Mexico would do something. But do you see how all that does is just create more delay and create all of this that we have to be here today? That all it would take is for someone at a high level to intervene and say, hey guys,
That's it.
it's an international.
No, and I just wanted to stop that right now because D-Lane infamous. How many times have I said all this takes is somebody on a high level?
Give me the blue and white.
Yep.
That's all it takes. And she does this. She knows the game. She said
Right.
all it takes is that somebody on a higher level to say, okay, let's do it. And it's a
Yep.
done deal.
Yep.
And
Right.
that's how these cases don't get solved because the person on a higher level say, just leave it alone.
Yeah,
Don't just leave it alone. A big dog gotta step up for
yeah,
sure.
that's true.
And is that to give
National
her?
murder investigation. Let's figure out what needs to
Hold
be
on,
done. If there has to be a
I'm gonna
meeting, if I
stop it
need to
in a
get on a
minute.
plane, if I have to go there, if we have to do a Zoom, whatever it is. You think on a
Hmm.
transnational criminal case that would affect tourism in Mexico, that would affect criminal law, obviously, in the United States in terms of not deterring people from going overseas to commit crimes and then returning back to the United States, that somebody could figure out how to have a meeting for them to communicate. And not to mention the fact that it's being represented to us that there is some sort of communication because there was communication and documents exchanged for them for the FBI here to investigate. So it's not that they're saying we don't have communication. So if the missing piece is a document, right? Just like we can talk about it and say, hey, the missing piece is a document, so can they. And they should be. And if they were taking serious, they would have those documents in place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the person that the Mexican authorities has the arrest warrant for, person's name and how they were involved? If it's a friend, a former friend. There is a name that is out there, but I don't know if you've talked to Mexican authorities about that name and that arrest warrant. Or anything you talk about that person that they want arrested?
Talk about the person.
The arrest warrant. There's a name that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you could say the person's name of the arrest warrant and the person that they want extradited.
Okay. So I've said it before, it's not a secret. Um, the Mexican authorities have already identified in their investigation, based on the identification of the aggressor in the video that we all saw, they identified Dejanay Jackson as the aggressor in the case. Yes,
Is civil action a possibility?
certainly.
And another follow, did the FBI give you any indication if they interviewed any of the people who were on that termination clause?
Right. And they did advise that there were interviews conducted. And that's why I say
Hmm.
um, any discrepancies, and I can speak plainly because at this point it's why. Um, if you wait till 5 months after someone committed a crime, I'm not a trained investigator, but I would imagine that the people would have time if they were involved, allegedly, in a crime. They would have the opportunity and time and space to delete text messages if that's what they wanted to do, to talk to each other about the case, which is why, generally speaking, in investigations, once you know there's an issue, you immediately and swiftly investigate to prevent delays that would prevent discrepancies, that would prevent justice from being served. And so that's why it's so disheartening that the U.S. authorities allowed there to be such a delay in this case.
I
Yes.
want to piggyback off Joe's question for
Sure.
just a second there. You mentioned possible, lawsuit is not out of the realm of possibility, but a lawsuit, potentially a civil suit, would create some sort of discovery and potentially knowing what documents were received, what documents were not received. Is it your belief, or is it a mission to find out exactly where the ball was dropped? Because I'm getting a sense from you, you're feeling like the ball's dropped, but there, if not the fact the ball wasn't dropped, there was certainly a lot of bureaucratic red tape, or there is a lot of bureaucratic red tape that you have to go through to kind of get this simple.
I don't think there is a lot of bureaucratic tape. I think it's pretty simple that in the
Hmm.
United States, that when there are black and brown victims of crimes, there is a whole other set of things that have to be done than not. So that's why I said, Ahmaud Arbery's case, Miss Wanda had to go to the state attorney herself. She had to go hire attorneys. She had to
Hmm.
beg these people to investigate a case that, in the end, we all know ended up in convictions, and convictions not just in um, local court, but also in federal court for civil rights violations. But Miss Wanda, a black mom, had to push for that. It's not like the
Yep.
justice system said, hey, here's your justice. Here's what the course of action is. Here's what you need to do. She had to push for that. Sandra Bland's mom had to push for that.
Yep.
In George Floyd's case, their family had to push for those things. And so it's not something that is unexpected. I mean, I would think, as a student of the law and as an attorney for 16 years, we could get somewhere with it, but we're not there.
Mm-mm.
As far as that open record, is part of the discovery process that would be part of the investigation? Something, is that something you're actually looking at just to see exactly where the ball may have been dropped to?
I mean, there's other ways for us to do that, a similar exploration. And I say sure in terms of a civil lawsuit because it's never outruled, but that's not where we are at in this moment. In this moment, the frustration is, why is there two different systems? That's the frustration. Why do we have to go and think about, oh, let's use a civil remedy and bend ourselves all out of shape for something that's fair in the Constitution, basic, you're a victim of a crime, this is how it should be handled, it's on video, this is how it should be handled. Why do we have to do all of those things? I think is the frustration at this moment, and why we're saying we're pushing to still go to Washington, and we want all of you to join us there, because it really is bigger than Shanquella, and it's very close to my heart, obviously, because these are my clients, and you know I got to learn and know Shanquella after her passing, but it should absolutely, this should be a packed room. This is a national issue. Anyone could go on vacation. Anyone could go on vacation with a group of people with malintent and be hurt, and then the people can come back and say, we're on base, we're okay, FBI isn't going to get us, we're fine. That should not be the case.
Can you be more specific about when you're saying that you're going to go to Washington, like what your next steps are?
Oh, sure. On May 19th, we're going to go to Washington, and we're going to march to the Department of State. Yes.
I just wanted to clarify. So, you said that the FBI told you that they had conducted interviews with people who were on the trip with Shanquella?
Right.
Hmm.
Did they say how many people
How many people that no.
they interviewed? Just
No.
with people.
Right. They said that they interviewed people that were the travel mates, and that they interviewed people who were in the house, and that they were in communication with Mexican authorities. Which is why I say, well, if you're in communication with them and there's an error in the process, like they're having a problem, like they say, okay, well, we can't bring an investigation because XYZ, right? Whatever they put into their inputs can't give the output that we're requesting, then they should be able to have that conversation.
And were there any other pieces of the investigation beyond the autopsy and the interviews with people who were, I guess, on the trip that the FBI
not that we were advised of.
So the investigation kind of comprised of those two pieces as far
Yeah,
as you know.
it comprised of them doing the autopsy after the body had already been embalmed, and they advised that they spoke to witnesses. So that's all we got. Yes.
Yeah, so as a blogger, I'm one of the bloggers that covering the case.
Oh, okay.
What can we do to help with this case?
Yeah, I think being present is the most important thing. I think this case came from social media and from people saying this is not enough. I think most importantly is if you are going to share information on the case, please make sure it's factual information because that
Mm-hmm.
actually hurts the family and it hurts the case
Right.
because then U.S. authorities are allowed to say, well, we heard this or we heard that or this or this is that or it's not a real case, it's an internet hoax or whatever the case may be, which can set the case back. So if sharing information on the case, keeping Shanquella's name in the media is super important, but it's super important to attach it to actual factual information
There you go.
so that we're not hurting the family and we're not hurting the case.
Facts.
And for Shanquella's mom and dad and family, I'm sure this has been really hard for them since this happened last year. With the news today, emotionally, how are they? Are they having a hard time? Just worried about their emotional state and everything they've had to go through after grieving for their daughter and now pushing for justice.
Sure, and I opened with it, which is they're extremely disappointed, as anyone would be in that situation, but they're not being deterred by it because they understand that they've had to carve their own path from the beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
so they're disappointed in this moment, but understand that more work has to be done.
So just briefly going back to my question about the march on May 19th.
Hmm.
So once you reach a destination like
There go her mom right there.
right, so what comes after,
Mhm.
the march? You get to where you're going, what's, the overall goal?
Well, the issue is we won't be there on May 19th if we can get a high level of diplomatic intervention before then. If the communication or the alleged missing piece can be completed before then we won't be there. But if not, we will be there and we'll be demanding it because it cannot be that someone can go overseas and commit a crime against a US citizen and come back and not be affected in any way. There isn't any reason, it doesn't make sense. We all saw it on video.
The
Mm-hmm.
Department of Justice saying they're not gonna prosecute, do you think that like the White House officials are gonna be open to meeting with you guys? Do you feel like or where do you think that's gonna be able to happen?
I think that they should be because of what I've been saying and what the family is saying, which is Shanquilla's case is unique, but it's not without precedent and protocol. And it makes it more apparent all of the hoops and the things that they've had to go through that there's two systems happening. Because why, right? It doesn't make sense. And so I think they should be open to it. I think all US citizens should be open to us having that meeting and having that discussion and figuring out how we get to the bottom of something like this. All done. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Pastor.
So that's it. But when you see what she's saying is she's saying what we've been saying from the beginning.
So
You know,
she
they
called
never
it
took it serious.
diplomatic intervention, right?
Yeah, yeah. It take a person from a higher place to say get it done or don't do it. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really know who like who we messing with. We don't know who owns that resort. We don't know how big they are to the United States and
That's true.
Mexico.
Right,
We
because you
Yeah,
don't.
because they're just talking about the judge, that Supreme Court judge they think he's getting favors from that billionaire or whatever he is, that white guy, that
Hmm.
he's been taking trips on his, like, basically getting gifts and not reporting it or whatever. So you don't know
Yep.
who, like you say, you don't know who owns what or who's connected to who and stuff. Yep.
Yeah,
But
and you gotta understand they the type of gifts they get is houses,
yeah, he
Lambos, and
was
stuff.
using he went around the world in
You know
his
what I'm saying?
yacht and all
Trips,
kinds of stuff.
you
Yeah.
know, 2 years to what, for front seats at the their favorite basketball games. They getting mortgage
Yeah,
paid. They
he
get
went
all
around
that.
the world in his yacht, in his mini yacht or some crap that they called it. I don't know, some yacht. He went as the judge, the Supreme Court judge that went around the world in his yacht, in that guy's yacht. And then they said that he has memorabilia from not the
Hmm.
judge, but the other guy, the
Hmm.
billionaire that basically is for the Republican side of the you know side of the aisle or whatever. That he has signed autographed things from Hitler, like his books and stuff like that. Like he's yeah, and the judge is just he's accepting gifts from him, so they're wanting
Hmm.
to investigate him.
Yeah, I mean that's just that's look. I feel like
Just don't know who owns
the
what.
the whole the whole even politics is all ran just like the DRUG game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all ran like that, man. You got bosses. You got look. You see what I'm saying? You got lookouts. You got runners.
You got the big people that are putting the
And
money towards their
and ain't nothing gonna happen unless the boss say so.
yeah.
Mhm. What do you think is
Say that again. You cut out.
what do you think is the missing piece?
I don't think it's a missing piece. I think it's just the big dog saying we don't want this we don't want this backlash. Like we don't because they people have messed up. People messed up. The doctor messed up. The police messed up. And really in order to do that, you got to investigate them too. They all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because it wouldn't even make no sense. If they just get designated, then what about the nurse and what about the police that obviously they did a botched job? Like you see what I'm saying? Like they
And like
they
you
will
said,
at least get
investigate
fired
everybody.
or
So it
something.
means
Yeah,
investigating the owner of the resort, and so you don't know who
yeah,
owns it.
yeah. You don't know who owns that resort. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Cause like that's the thing right there. That dude probably a big. If I mean he owns a resort, you know he got big money.
And
He's he.
there's a lot of controversy with just in regards to like the low income housing because what they're doing is the people with money that are buying out these houses like so that's why people are raising the rent so then the people with low income housing can't get these houses because
Hmm.
they're raising the rent to the point to where they can't afford it, they can't live there, so then you got all these people with the big money and the that are higher up that are purchasing all this property, so then there's nowhere for the low income people to live to be able to rent because they're buying up all this property.
Hmm. And
It's
that's
just
and
kind of
that's and that's just the way the game is. It's chess. It's not checkers. It's like I watched a documentary on Larry Hoover, and he had did his time. He was out, and he was on the growth and development. Like he was really doing rallies. Look at this. He had brought almost all the projects,
Mm,
and look, and they opened up a whole organization to take him down because they said he's getting too much power.
Yeah.
He owned the clubs, the projects. They said even though he wasn't doing no like banging stuff, they
wow.
wanted to take him down because he was getting too much power. And that's the reason why Chicago started going crazy the way it is because now you have taken the spoon out the mouth and then like you said, people can't get the housing no more. So now it's like all divided. You can't come on our block no more. At first it was everybody eat. You see what I'm saying?
starting to segregate even more. Like
Now it's secret. Yeah, now that's why they all them projects are just right across from each other, and they all beef. You can't come over there trying to get no money, nothing,
They
because
still
we
got
gotta eat.
projects out.
We gotta eat.
because it won't because whatever you're getting for the low income like the vouchers and stuff it won't cover the rent that they're trying to charge for the places because they want to
But
remodel
this,
it and they up the rent, yeah.
but they
Hmm.
still have projects.
Yeah, man. What do you think O Block is?
Oh, where's that at? What state?
Chicago.
Oh, cause I'm in the South.
Yeah, they
You
still
know
no.
they done knocked all them
They,
projects down. We don't
they
have no
yeah
projects
they
in the
still
South.
they got projects out here.
Oh, we don't have no more projects. They knocked them down.
Yeah, they got projects.
Oh, wow.
They starting to knock down some of the projects and then building like corporate buildings and stuff too. Like they running,
Yes, yes.
they're running people out of there and stuff. Like it's crazy. You can go to the south and you're gonna see like it's so crazy. It looks so hood, and then you turn one quarter, you see a big old house. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell
Big
you,
old
they
houses and
did
stuff.
projects where the project was, baby. they apartments, but they're like townhomes. You would be like, what was there before? Because where I'm living at, what made the projects close down completely, all of them, is because it was a gas leak. Like four people died in three apartments
Mm,
separately. Three, a gas leak. So they after that, it knocked them all. They were already taking one down, two down. They're done. Like in Georgia, they're down two in Augusta. I mean, they got one up there, two that is. I think it's still up. Rest are down in
Yeah,
Augusta,
they have a
Georgia.
thing that says it says private equity firm called Blackstone is the number one um, landlord had over any mom and pop or anything, and they're the ones that are doing all this raising the
Yep,
rent. It's called Blackstone. Yeah,
yep, yep, yep.
yeah,
You're right.
they're raising
affordable.
the rent and they're raising the rent and
So
everything.
you can afford it,
Look
even if
that
you
that's
got a
look
voucher.
that's why they see that's why they trying to make like over here. There's a park that everybody go to. It be jumping every weekend, and it's like it's all hood, all old houses around. And I
Jesus.
noticed they start knocking down them old houses and putting corporate buildings up to make the land more expensive. So now it costs more to be over there. So they're running
You
people
know
out
what?
the
That's
hood.
so
You know,
sad.
they're literally running you out the hood.
And it's sad because the people that own them places it was already ran down, right?
Mm,
It was so sad that it didn't cost. It cost a lot because when you didn't have a lot. But if we look back now, it was like I don't know, maybe about I'm gonna truthfully, maybe $4,000. If not, some was thousands to keep your house. You
mhm.
didn't have it. People lost their houses on $1,000 or
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean
less. You see
everything is
what I'm
changing,
saying?
and
Took them
every
all.
everything is changing, and this world is ran just like an organization. It's all the same, and that's why I say with this case, you heard the
Yeah,
lady said too. They need a big dog to do something, and I
yeah.
Hmm.
think one of the big dogs have already spoken, and that's why the feds dropped it. One of the big dogs been and spoke. And for some reason they want to leave it alone, but they're gonna have to keep fighting, you know what I'm saying, just like everybody
Yeah,
else did,
yeah.
which is messed up. They got the video, they got all everything they need, but look what it takes.
Right.
You're right. Too much energy, too much. Because we have to keep it going for real. You. I don't have a channel. You and the other content creators, whoever bad or good, because some I disagree and don't disagree. You my guy.
Mhm.
All the guys, you is
Mhm.
my boy. You is like a brother. So what I'm saying is, it's gonna take you and us that is subscribed to you to keep it going, to keep Shaqualla alive. You know what I'm saying? She's unalive, but she's alive. She's still
Yeah,
alive.
and look, and like, I haven't been going live for a little while.
Because
I took
it
I
was
took
nothing there.
yeah, I mean, I took a little break off because I needed, I do that sometimes so I can come back harder. But what kind of made me upset about this case
Hmm.
is I talked to her friends, and one of her
Oh.
friends, she kind of got an attitude with me, and I told her, hey man, I'm just, this is what I do, and it ain't nothing. I said, and it's all good. You have a nice day. Cause this ain't no tough nut. How people be talking real tough. So I was like, "You have a nice day." She said, but then she responded back. She said, "Here." She showed me 5 friends. They Facebook.
Hmm.
She said, "Talk to them." But when
Hmm.
she said, "Have a great day," I like she showed some love. But when I reached out, no, nobody don't want to talk about that. They
You
don't
know
want to
what?
say
Let me tell
nothing.
you one thing.
The one girl, she was like, she's like, okay. She's like, yeah. What kind of interview? I said, I just want to ask some questions about Shanquella. Never respond again.
Let me tell you something. North Carolina is sliding into the north. You feel me?
Hmm.
I'm in South Carolina, literally. What the dude Aubrey, the little fella in Georgia. I'm south.
Mm.
North Carolina is people better recognize North Carolina is they like they sliding it into the north. You feel me? When that north coming now, you better believe that. You better believe that because around here, that listen, I'm telling you, they will take out. They can't get you. They're gonna get somebody that's close to you.
I know
Matter of fact, I tell you what, don't be around them.
that famous TikToker out there got something happened to him. Is they name something Travis Taco something?
Well, I don't know if they did anything in South Carolina yet. Well, I don't know yet now. After today, we'll see. See what I'm saying? I hope it don't be in my neighborhood, but I'm just saying.
But
But
believe it or not,
all
believe it,
respect, because I
believe it
don't
or
like
not,
what they went on.
but
I don't
but
like this. I don't
but
like this.
but believe it or not, all states and cities got that stuff. They all go hard. It's not really every year a different state got a higher the most highest murder rate. Like when people sit up there and think that it's this city, like
Mhm.
it's everywhere.
That's right.
It's everywhere really. It's a
That's
hood.
right.
Look this. You could be in a rich neighborhood down here and make the wrong left turn and be straight in the slums, boy. And you gonna be like, oh my God, let me get up out of here.
Because they're
It's just
waiting
where
for
you at
you.
in the city, man.
They're waiting.
They be standing in the street waiting on a person in a
Yeah.
Benz to pull up and stop them. You crazy? Because
They're
they know that
waiting.
they know tourists be out there downtown, and all in downtown it's surrounded by nothing but the hoods.
And they don't care if it had anything to do with the people they are targeting. They just say, do whatever that makes something that happen. So that's
Yeah,
what people
man.
don't understand. I don't. Someone said or someone else said, I hope they don't riot, baby. I don't think you need to worry about anybody rioting. You better worry about anybody being killed. That's what you need to.
Let's
Innocent
don't
people.
say that. Let's don't say all
Oh,
them.
oh, 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 on the line.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
say
I'm
a
sorry,
different
baby.
way
I'm
because
sorry. You're right. You better
um,
worry about that because them dumb people, and I didn't say it was right, and I'm calling them dumb people. Dumb people will take whoever out. They don't care if you had anything to do with nothing. You could be an innocent person. You have nothing. You couldn't agree with us. They, you're there. They just feel like doing what they want to do.
hmm
That's why the government need to do better. And I
yeah.
really think, I really, really think. Now I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I don't know who feelings is gonna hurt. When they went to Mexico, literally, my thought, because I already thought that I said it was USA was messing around, which they were. That's what my thought was always.
Mm.
USA was messing around. Guess what? You went to Mexico. You did what you could to. You gotta go back. You gotta go back some kind of way. I don't know how you're gonna go back. How you gonna go back? But you should have thought about how you went back when you went back when you went back when you went the first time. That's where it was at. It wasn't here. It was not
Yeah.
here.
I
You
mean,
decided what you were
it's a
gonna say.
botched investigation. And I don't even know why they gave me a yellow right now because I ain't we ain't did nothing. We said but they did give me a yellow, but it'll probably go back green. Uh, but what you think about it, D-Lynn?
It
Like
ain't it's not green.
where we at right now with this? What do you
Okay, I'm
think?
gonna be quiet. Let somebody else talk. Shoot, if I made your stuff go
I'm
down.
I'm
Now I
just
don't know if you did or not, but it does that
If I
sometimes.
did, let somebody else talk. So go back to green. Now I correct myself next time.
Yeah.
I'm just like shocked. I'm just like I can't even believe what I heard today. It's just like it's kind of sad a little bit as well because it's just like everywhere we turn, it's no clarity. Everybody is
hmm
like contradicting everything, and it's so
hmm
like what it makes you think like what the hell is going on? Like it's something else going on. This doesn't make any sense. Like a broken neck. How can a person get that confused? You know what I'm saying? You can't confuse a broken neck. Come on. Like, and they didn't say fractured. They said it was decapitated. You know what I'm saying? So how can
Mhm.
you confuse that with the total opposite? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, this is just it's just
That is
more.
true. That's true,
It's
Miss
just
T.
more. It's just more of the fact of the matter is they said from the beginning this is like a political type of battle. They did say that in the beginning, like, they all got to cooperate with each other, and we don't know how they moving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got to keep
What about
they
the
got to keep their
treaty?
back end clean.
What about
Who
the treaty
has to,
now?
who has to keep what clean?
They back in Mexico, all of them, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Whoever is the big dogs, like certain things can expose stuff that ain't supposed to be exposed. You know what I'm saying?
But what
But
about the
it's already
treaty?
exposed.
They
It's
been they have a treaty. They have a 1972 treaty with
Right.
Mexico. But
Let
in
me
the treaty,
update it.
it states that they have to go by each other's, like, you know what I'm saying? They got to allow each other to, they can't they can't go over nobody's head.
okay. So when you say
Have to agree.
they're trying to protect and not, we don't know something else may be exposed. What do you think could be exposed? What could it be?
Some of these big dogs out there that and what they do, and how it's ran.
What
Why
big
would that come out?
dogs?
Why would that come out?
The same ones that the other people that got on the line a couple of 4 weeks ago, last month. I mean, a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm. What
You
about them?
talking about them people?
No, I'm talking about
Yeah,
the.
we're talking about
No,
these
no,
people.
baby, not you, D.
We're talking about the people that got high authority out here, man.
No, no, I'm talking about the people that you know the crew I'm talking about, right?
Hmm?
You say who?
You know the last incident in Mexico.
Right, the kidnapping.
Yeah, the kidnapping people.
Mm, right,
So you know how that went, right?
right.
Yeah,
So
they saw that fast because the big dog said, "Look, this. Let me ask you something.
yeah,
The cartel sent a letter apologizing
That
and
was good. Nobody.
and dropped them off. Let me
cartel had nothing to do
Can you
with this
believe
one.
that?
think about
Yeah,
that. So there's some
yeah.
big dogs that the cart. Look, if the when have you ever heard a cartel apologizing
And
and
I don't
dropping
think
that?
they
I
did.
don't
Come on,
know.
And
man.
I
I
don't
never
think they
heard it
did that
ever,
time neither.
ever.
I don't think they did that time neither. I think they just said that. I don't think they
I think
Yeah.
they
apologized.
look this. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say this without saying it, but the way the world runs. You know how all this stuff
Money,
gets
money,
out
money.
here, right? You know how to look this. None of us got a yacht to carry uh 200,000 kilos.
Right.
Sure don't.
None of
Oh,
us. You are not sitting at the border letting people buy.
you right.
So we know how this world works. Of course, they went ahead and turned them on because they said, "Hey, you messing up the money, man. You messing up the game. Look,
Mhm.
we working with we rocking with you, but you making mistakes.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Well, your next shipment ain't finna come through, buddy.
But what
You
I don't
know,
understand is, okay, everybody wants everything to go away, the quickest way to make it go away is to go ahead, expedite Dejanay and get it over with, get the trial over with.
you know what?
I don't
She
understand
gotta go. She gotta go.
that.
You're right, Misty.
This is
She
making
got
me
to
sick.
go.
We're going to continue to talk about it. It's
That's right. She
just
gotta go.
so
That's the only way this is
this is
gonna be solved. Somebody gotta go back over there to Mexico. That is it. Because I don't, go, it costs. You got a lawyer. You have to get over there. Honestly, they did. I don't know why. Do you remember right before this started when she got a lawyer? We know they had them. They said they're going to the White House or whatever they were doing a protest. They should have. People said, "Don't go to Mexico. Don't go to Mexico." Yeah, that's where the hell you should have went. That's
Yeah.
what the hell you would have.
And,
Cause I'm gonna tell you.
but try not to cuss though. But yeah,
Oh, sure. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
it
I'm
sound
sorry.
cool. But you seen what happened when these other people went to Mexico. You take your
That ain't
go.
matter. That ain't
Look at
matter.
this.
That was playing.
Y'all
Let me
group
tell you
up and
what I
go.
was playing. Let me
Look,
tell you
yeah.
what I was
No,
playing.
hold on. Let me tell you something. Everybody been
I'm
saying. Everybody said, well, we should have went. You group up and
no.
hold
I'm
on.
about to tell you something.
Let
Hold
me
on.
finish. Let me finish talking though.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
You go out there to group up and go out there to Mexico trying to protest and see what happened to you.
Not like that.
They not playing no games
Listen
like
to
that.
me.
It's not the see the U.S. We got a lot more freedom and privilege and stuff
Right.
than any other country. You
Right.
ain't finna go out to no Mexico protesting nothing. They will do you they will do you dirty out there, man.
I
They don't
guess
care about no Americans.
when we talk about protesting, we just mean boycott and not
Yeah.
va-
No,
and
what I'm talking about is a lot of people saying, well, they should have went, they should go to Mexico. The whole family should have went out. If that was my dog, we would
right.
all my kin folks, we would all went to Mexico.
Uh,
Man, do you know you can
people
go to
don't know.
Mexico and you ain't coming back, man? What's
You really
wrong?
think everybody gonna take time off of their jobs to go? uh-uh.
Mexico is not the place
Yeah,
for that play stuff,
to
man.
play that. Play.
And then if and especially if you don't know where you at,
Yeah.
you don't need to even be going. That's why the only time you go to Mexico, you go into a resort.
Yeah.
If you
Exactly.
go to a
No, I'm
resort,
going to the
look at this.
resort. I
If you
mean,
go to a resort,
resort.
look at this. They specifically tell you when you go to a resort in Mexico, hey, if you go out to the city, we ain't responsible for nothing that happens.
No,
But
you have to come back
Stay
with
in
me.
this
I
resort.
remember, listen,
boss,
my
boss.
father, listen. It was cheaper to come off your on Paso Base in
Hmm.
the Army, right? It was cheaper to go across the bridge and then find your way on through to the resort. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is this here that they didn't pick the right people. Those people that they picked was not the right people they wanted to get. Those people that they took and kidnapped, those weren't the right people.
Yeah, they messed up. Yeah, they
Yeah, I
messed up.
know that. So what I'm trying to say is this. This was a plan alpha. I know you and I and Miss D and everybody else know this was. But what I'm trying to tell you with the lawyers, y'all should have left USA alone because I already said USA was a hold up. No. For Nicolay, and that means deal with the Mexico. You better. I don't give a damn. I give a darn. I don't think that's a cuss word. The other word is a darn. Take
Mhm.
5 interpreters to be able to talk to these people.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
I
Listen,
think that
listen, and
boss.
guess what? And get it on through. Don't do what
Mhm.
USA. What they did, the way they move, they didn't move right. They didn't move right. I'm just gonna tell you. Some
Yeah,
lawyers.
they didn't move right. I mean, they didn't move right. And my thing is, this is my thing is, as long as I've been doing this channel, we all grown. We understand how the world works. But for some reason, we expect it when we talk about we expect it to go the way that we never see it go. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey,
Yeah,
how many
see,
cases how many
I can
cases have
stop.
we even
we always
seen?
think
Look,
I
right.
can explain
look,
it, but I think that's what
look
they
this,
should have been doing.
black people have to fight, just like she was saying. She named all these
Right.
cases where we have to fight for this. It
Exactly.
ain't
Yeah,
working the way we the way we want.
It's
yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
What's
That's
up with it,
true.
Stepper?
What's
hey
up with it?
stepper.
What's going on?
All
Man,
right,
chilling on it,
yeah,
chilling on it.
that's my that's a is that a Dallas Cowboy symbol?
Yeah.
Oh yes, go Cowboys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, it's a closed case. It's a wrap. They never
Yeah,
gonna reopen it. They're not gonna
yeah.
get an appeal. It's a wrap. It's
Don't be
politics.
mad.
No,
I'm
I'm telling
telling
the
you,
truth, man. I'm
Why
a
telling
you
you
big
the truth.
hey,
It's a
mad?
wrap.
cause a
Because, you
big
know what I'm saying?
look at this, cause a big dog is
Mexico
spoken.
is in charge of this. U.S. not in charge of this.
I went to
Mexico
Yeah,
got, yeah, they in control.
Yeah,
that's
So
look,
once they make
right.
their
look,
mind
look,
up,
Mexico.
Stepper. You see, look,
And
you
that's
probably
where
didn't,
they
you
were
you
should have
probably
started from.
you
They
probably
was
didn't you
Mexico.
look, you probably didn't catch the interview with the lawyer talking about
I
this.
watched it
But she said,
all day today.
no, I'm talking to Stepper.
I don't like her energy. Fuck her.
Look. But look, but check me out.
Right, right.
One thing she said is they gonna need somebody in a high position to get this
She was,
rolling. And I
she
feel
wasn't
like
passionate enough.
look,
So I didn't feel her.
I
She
feel
wasn't
yeah,
passionate enough.
cause she was disappointed. Look, check
I
this
don't know,
out.
It
man.
Check
was.
this out. Now hold on, check this
Cause
out.
they made the wrong move.
This what a
I
lot of
wouldn't have
people
went to FBI because you know what?
hold
If she
on, hold on,
was,
hold on. Let
let
me
me tell
finish.
you
I'm gonna have to
if
start
she
muting
listened
people
to the
if I
video,
can't get it out.
I already talked to the FBI. I wouldn't have went to the FBI. You listen, now she need to go to Supreme Court.
Hold on, look. Let me tell y'all something. So check this out.
Okay.
Like maybe a couple of days ago, they was all excited because the FBI had called Quella parents for a meeting. So they
Yeah.
thinking, oh yeah, it's good. The
Yeah.
FBI got something.
They never
That,
talked
that
to them about why they excited. They
no,
never
hold on. I'm gonna have to
talked
mute you. I'm gonna have to mute you if you ain't gonna let me
to them. Okay,
finish
I'm be
talking.
quiet. I'll be quiet. Shit. Shoot.
That's
Troll.
that's that's what the meeting was about to tell them that they dropping their case. See, everybody
Yeah.
thought it was going to be some justice. The meeting was with the parents to tell them that they dropping the case, man.
They gonna mute me.
When a big dog spoke, you know what I'm saying? Somebody in a higher place that told them leave it alone.
Right.
I don't
And
think that. I don't do that.
why
I don't do
why
that.
would they
I
drop
don't
the
think that.
case? Why would the
Okay,
feds?
okay, okay. I tell you
Let me
why.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. How many
Go ahead.
times? Let me ask you this. The feds have like a 90 something conviction rate. How many times have you seen them drop a case?
How many? How many?
They
How many
closed the
you
case.
said?
They're going with
Yeah,
their
how many?
initial
Yeah,
report.
how many?
They
Look,
don't have
Stepper.
evidence.
How
You
many
said
times
97 what?
they got like a 97% conviction rate?
Okay,
Like you
97.
never.
What, you know, is the other percentage before you get to 100, right? Hear me out.
That's
They,
almost
they didn't
perfect.
get it. So there
That's
you go.
almost perfect.
Shanquella is one of the ones that's not in the
First
97%.
of all, they didn't present the right information to the U.S. Officials. That's what's going on.
Who
Yeah,
did?
because a big dog. That's what I'm saying. A big dog to sit up there and say and silence this and
And I
silence
believe
it.
that
Mm.
dog. I believe that's is somebody that's in the United States and in Mexico that has something to do with that
Yeah.
villa.
Yeah, they saying leave
And
it
I'm
alone. They saying leave this
telling
alone.
you that whoever, I think that was you, boss, who was talking about their business model. I feel like it has
Mhm.
something to do with their business model over in Mexico at that villa, and how
Mhm.
they are contracted with all of these people, and you have to go through the concierge so that
Big
they can call
money.
their contracted people. That's all
Yep.
about
Big
money,
money.
and it shouldn't be
Big
like that.
money.
If I need emergency services, don't be trying to figure out who to send. Send me the damn doctor to figure out who to
Cause
send so they can make some money. Hell no. Send emergency.
because look, because this is a resort. So this is like a paid for island. It's not really, it's, let's just say when you look at the resort, it's not a part of Mexico. If you leave from out that resort, then you were subject to anything that happens in Mexico. But in that resort, you're supposed to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
They got their own doctors on there. They got an ambulance, all that.
Well, something didn't work.
This is a lot of
Something
money.
something didn't work because why is Shanquella not with us? Because if they got over there and she was still alive, what
Because
happened?
she wasn't alive.
I mean, because it's obviously that they messed up, and we don't know who made the
Who?
call.
Yeah.
Whoever made the call to make that nurse come and say it's not an emergency and don't call the ambulance. Whoever, all of that. That's what messed it up.
No,
Well,
I didn't ask
Yep.
you like that.
Who?
I
Let me
mean,
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me
somebody
ask you
that
this.
didn't know.
Who? Let me ask you this. Who do you think sent the nurse?
Listen, when I asked you who,
concierge.
he like
It's in the
called
The
it.
owner.
paperwork.
I
It's
The
in the
know.
paper.
owner.
Okay. Look, I know that. Okay. So who do you think the concierge calls to let them know that they need a nurse?
Because somebody called him. Do you know who it could have been?
The management.
It's a big dog, man.
I said
Uh,
The
you right.
concierge
I feel you.
The concierge probably don't even know the big dog, but he got to reach out to somebody that's bigger than him. They got to tell
Right.
the
I
big
think you
dog
know.
And
that
that's
we
why
need a
it's
Ooh,
nurse.
international company.
ooh.
And you're right,
Do
Right.
because
you
that's why
know?
I'm saying,
You know when they call
and
for
that's why
that, right? To
business
go to the
model, their
airport.
business model is not a good business model.
Yeah, I mean it's straight business. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
it's big business. Like this was so funny to me. Like where I work at, people always call me and say, I want to speak to the owner. I'm like, I don't know. We don't even know the owner.
Right. But
We
the
can get you
owner,
to somebody that's a
that's
higher
why we
position,
here.
to another
That's why
higher
we here. So
position.
you don't have
Yeah,
to speak to the owner.
that you can talk to the owner maybe, but you ain't gonna never talk to the owner. You think
Right.
that dude is on a
You could
yacht
write the owner a
somewhere?
letter. You could write him
Yeah,
a letter.
man, that dude is on a yacht eating steak and shrimp. He ain't got nothing. He don't want to hear nothing about the business. You think you gonna call the owner and say, man, they messed up on my life insurance? That's why he pays millions of dollars for people to do this. You see what I'm saying? It's business, and
Yeah.
it's ran just like a big. If we really look at it, a business is ran just like a criminal enterprise. Anyway,
Mhm.
it has you got your bosses, you got the underdogs, you got all that. Even if you start a business right now, you start a clothing company, you're gonna have some people that's under you, promoters. You're gonna have people that's actually make your manufacturers, your connects. Then you're gonna have the big investors and everything. And them investors, they will not let you mess up their name by doing business with you. They're gonna cut you off if you do something stupid. You know what I'm saying? This is big money.
Right.
Yep.
Tell me this. If this had happened in the United States, what I mean, and you was at a resort and you called the concierge and you said, where's the closest emergency facility? Do you think they would have turned around and said, okay, we're gonna send you a doctor? I think that's where the mistake went.
No.
Yeah, not in the U.S. because in the U.S. they already looking at us like criminals. You know what I'm saying? Look, they already. What you need a doctor for? What did you do? What did you do? We go. Yeah, that's how they
But
gonna
they're
act
not
in the
gonna send
United
no
States.
doctor. They're gonna send an ambulance.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't understand that. I don't understand why they sent the doctor instead of the ambulance.
Because it's Mexico, man. They don't run like us. Look. Let me tell you something. Half the stuff that we do on a normal day, people can't do that in Mexico.
Mhm.
They can't even go on down certain blocks.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like people that live in Mexico, they tell me like everybody know not to go there, not to go here. They can't do the same stuff we do. It's
Mm,
different. It's open. It's wide. Well, I mean, you already know. Like it's the supplier of the biggest chain of you know what I'm saying.
right.
No, I mean, come on, man. Come
Right.
on. Like we've been watching too many movies and documentaries not to understand this
Right.
right here.
Right. Right.
You know how they
I
move,
just
man.
be thinking about the
You go down the
resort.
wrong
I
you go
think
down the
about,
wrong street, or
but I
even
be
walk up to the wrong person.
But I be thinking about the resorts. Like you heard so many people talking about Mexico, and it's not Mexico, it's USA, and I agree with that. But they was talking about how they just went over there and how beautiful it is, and I'm thinking, yeah, because you're on the resort part, you're not in the
Yeah.
real Mexico part.
Yeah, you ain't in the slums. And let me ask you this. I'm gonna hit you to some game too. Who you think be owning these resorts? Cause check this out.
The
Watch
cocaine.
watch Cocaine Cowboys
Mm-hmm.
and find out. Do you know how Miami was built?
Exactly. Hmm.
So you know who owns this stuff, man.
Vegas. How was Vegas built?
Yeah. You know how it's all been built off of that money. We
Mm-hmm.
know this for a fact. We've seen it's
Exactly.
been in our face. We watched it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Half of Miami was built off of that trade.
Right. So they say
The yayo is
you ain't
what built Miami.
you ain't messing up our business model. That's what they saying.
Yeah, the yayo built Miami.
Mm-hmm.
You even seen when they had Griselda Blanco out here, they had her in Texas. She had a cell. She had 3 cells. They knocked down the walls to make her cell big. She
Mm-hmm.
had Louis Vuitton couch and big screen TVs back when when people the only screen TV anybody ever had was a 22 inch. She had all that, and they couldn't even convict her because her hitman was doing something with one of the prosecutors, so they had to send her back to Medellin. But then when they sent her back to her own, then you see what happened with her out there because of what she did. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Now, when you look at that, then you understand the game. So why they sent her back?
Right.
Like just they say off a technicality because one of the prosecutors was doing something with her hitman that was allegedly telling on her, and that threw the whole case off. So they dropped charges on her. And you know what? You know what she did, man? You know how many bodies she had? They dropped the case and sent her back to Medellin. And then in Medellin, they did something to her because she went crazy. Like they was waiting on her they was waiting on them to send her back.
Mm.
Mm.
And the U.S. was sent up there. Look, if you watch that documentary, you're like, oh my god, like she was having the young dude, she was messing with the young dude. He said he was paying $2,000 to the guards to come and see her and do something.
Mm.
You see what
What?
I'm saying?
Right.
And she got her cell looked like a mansion.
What you
Wow.
talking
So
about?
look, so who you think agreed to do that? A Griselda Blanco.
Right.
Mm.
Exactly.
Remember her? Look at bro. Her cell was three. Like if you even watch, you're gonna see it. Her cell was three cells broken down. Like they broke the walls. And she had a
Wow.
big, big cell. She had Louis Vuitton couch, big
Uh-uh.
screens, all
You
type of stuff.
lying.
Eating steak and shrimp. Man, no, look, the dude, the youngster that hooked up with her. He said, "This is how I met up with her." He said, whenever they caught out in Texas, he wrote her a letter, and he said, "Man," he said, "Godmother, I just wanted to let you know I'm one of your biggest fans. I hope you get out. I love you. I'm so obsessed with you, or whatever." Woo, 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 woo.
Mm.
He was writing letters, and one day she sent for him. One day, look, somebody knocked on the door, said Godmother wanted to see. Like what? Yeah, took him straight down to the station, straight to her cell to talk to her. And then they
Mm.
got
Wow.
they got in a relationship. He said, look, he said 2 weeks after meeting her, he became a millionaire instantly.
What?
She had him running plays. An
Yeah.
18-year-old, the 18-year-old boy with long hair, he was in a relationship with her
Mm.
while she was locked up out in Texas.
Mm.
Now, my
Okay.
question is, how does all that happen? How's he
Yeah.
getting in the cell? How that you know what I'm
Right.
saying? How's he
They
coming over
let
there and
him
talking
in.
to her? How she called for him? She see the address from where the letters is coming from. She
Right.
she sends she sends some people to come bring that youngster down in my cell. They let him in. He came in there and sat down in her cell. He was explaining, said, "Man, it was beautiful. Louis Vuitton couches." He said
Yeah.
everything. That we sat up there and talked for hours.
Mm.
Where she was locked up at?
She was locked up like, man, I want to say, let me see, I can look it up, man. I want to say like towards Houston.
Oh damn.
Yeah, she was locked up. She was locked up for like 6 years out here.
Right.
But she had it made. Like she was like really living it up. Like that. Like he said that she had cooks and everything in there.
Yeah.
Let me look. Let me see where she was locked up. Griselda Blanco.
Boss.
Yep.
In the
What's up?
Shanquella case, do you think that even though, the feds say they closed their case, does that mean that Mexico, I mean, Mexico still has the one Dejanay. Does that mean that Mexico can't get Dejanay? I'm confused.
Nah, I mean that they can, but the thing is,
What you say?
they can, but the thing is, like okay, so where's the extradition? Like, what's going on? It is in their hands, but they're saying she basically saying like U.S. is the one that ain't extraditing her.
Right, exactly. So what, I mean, because if they could have just sent her anyway, I mean, you know what I'm saying? If it doesn't matter what their findings are. They can still have Dejanay expedited. Is that correct?
Yeah, they can.
So to me, them investigating was just a bunch of bull crap in the first place to hold up
Yeah,
everything.
and then and then what they were saying on the article, like they can't. There has been cases where people are ex expedited, but with this case, see, this is what's making it. This makes it hard. If the feds say they don't got enough evidence, they
Mm-hmm.
the big dogs, man. You know what I'm saying? If the feds say they ain't got enough evidence,
Oh, that's a wrap.
I
That's a
bet
wrap.
you, I bet you Daisy and them doing a stanky leg right now.
It's a
Right.
wrap. Man. It's a wrap.
They turning up. They listen to Big Boogie right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They turning up. If the
But why
feds say
can't
they don't got
Mexico
enough
say we?
evidence,
Yeah. They
Why
jamming
can't
boogie.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Why can't Mexico say we don't need all of that evidence? We got enough.
But they don't
I mean,
care.
they can, but they don't care. They got too much stuff going on anyway. You think they care? You see what I'm saying?
Come on,
You
Mexico.
know, Mexico got so much stuff going on. That's not a priority for them.
Mm.
They don't care, man. They not finna let no black people mess up their operation. The black people, nah, ain't
Yeah,
going
they
out like
they
that.
yeah, they ain't tripping. They ain't tripping on that all that. You know what I'm saying? They not. You know what I'm saying? That's not a priority for them. I mean,
Mm.
just Google what's going on. They said they found 100 people in a hole out there not too long ago.
Oh yeah, it's crazy out
You
there.
see what I'm saying?
Mm.
And remember, I showed you that one girl, Arianda. The same thing that happened to her happened the same day it happened to Shanquella, which is so crazy. Well, her friends did her, and they still and the dude that did he rich, they locked up, but they ain't been convicted yet. Him and his girl.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't even know. You see what I'm saying? Like if they gonna get convicted. And the thing about it is, Mexico has a low conviction rate for femicide. It
Yeah.
just don't. The people just don't get arrested for it. They don't get convicted. They might be in jail for a couple years, like 2 years, but then it gets dropped. You feel me?
Right.
It just get dropped. And you can look it up. They say out of 20,000 femicide cases, only two stuck.
Once they close the case and the feds involved, it's a wrap. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right.
But I
See,
thought it could
look,
be
look,
open.
look, look. Think about what if the feds would have closed off case? You know, it wouldn't have been no arrest then, right?
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be no risk.
I thought they could reopen
Mhm.
it though. You're saying they
Yeah,
can't.
they can reopen the case. They can under certain speculations, but a lot of times if you're exonerated, that's in the deal. But they wasn't exonerated and nothing like that. So they can't open it if somebody gave some valuable information.
Hmm.
Even with that, it'll be hard. Yeah, I mean, then there's gonna be some problems in Mexico. You know what
So
I'm
Yep.
why do
saying?
y'all think that Ben Crump and Suan are still pursuing this if
Because
it's
they're
a
doing it for the money. That's all. They're
Yeah,
doing it for the money.
they're gonna
yeah.
drain them dry?
Yeah,
And
Y'all
you
it's
think
gotta
scam.
and you gotta understand. See, and with me, like I'm thinking like this. What I'm thinking like what I'm trying to understand is you see how much Quilla GoFundMe made, right?
mm-hmm.
Like like over half a million.
Hello?
Yep.
So one person said something to me.
What
They
did you say? You
said,
went out for a second.
"Oh, I said like Quilla's GoFundMe made like over half a million."
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
one person said to me, they said, I bet you if they put a reward out, somebody come with some information. I wonder why they ain't did that. See, when that stuff
Mm.
happened with Mexico, they put a $50,000 award out instantly. With them other
Right.
people, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying put they would have. I'm saying why they ain't put some money out. I bet you somebody gonna tell. You know they is. Put some money out. I promise you, somebody gonna get some information. They're gonna show some text and everything. Yeah, I got it all here.
But that ain't really the case with this situation
Yeah,
because it's in
with
the
this,
Mexico hands. Mexico controlling everything. They
yeah,
gave them some information
but
of
this
what's
this
going
what I'm
on
saying. I'm not. I'm talking about an outsider giving some information. We already know.
from,
See,
from Mexico. Yeah,
nah, like yeah, outsider, anybody that knows something, it don't matter where they at. If they give some valuable information, if they put some money up, you already know how they do, man. They're gonna call in quick in the mug. Try to, yeah, I got the picture and everything. I got it. Come on, man. That's how they be getting. That's how they solve that case so quick. They put 50,000 up for some information.
She- her parents going to put together their own team to go over to Mexico.
Yep.
But that's what's gonna have to happen if they want any type of justice.
Or put some money up for somebody to drop some information. You know that them kids talk to somebody. Somebody know.
But that's not gonna do any good if Mexico not going. You know what I'm saying?
But the feds could pick it back up. If that's what they said in the interview. They said if they get any valuable information, then they can pick it up. But right now they don't have nothing. That's what they said. Because ain't nobody talking.
Mexico got to be on the same page with everybody, and they're not
Hmm.
willing to do that. They're not going to risk their business and all that. So they just gonna say it was a. I guess what I mean. What they say she died from alcohol or alcohol poisoning. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I mean they done changed up. They said the new autopsy said showed that her spine wasn't messed up. So I don't even know.
I
Yeah.
go.
Right. We done went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
I don't even know what they talking about now. But I know one thing: if
And it,
somebody got some solid proof, a good text message or anything that knows something or know where they go find something and give that
and it,
information. Yeah, they gonna pick it back up.
right. Then they talking about they don't know the cause of death. How the hell you don't know the cause of death? You the FBI. How do they not know the cause of death? I'm confused.
Because they didn't give them the right information from Mexico.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
not USA. It's
What do you
not
mean they
U.S.
didn't get
fault.
the right
Nothing
information?
they could do about it.
Saw the
All they could do is
autopsy
go off
report. We
what
all
was
saw the
presented to them.
autopsy report from Mexico. What do you mean they didn't get the right information?
Evidently, you know what I'm saying, they didn't. Because if the
Well,
feds involved
the,
and they
well,
didn't have no evidence,
but the feds did their own investigation. They own autopsy and said they don't see a spinal injury.
well, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's making it. That's what's weird about it. That's making it ultra weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
how did they come back and say like what? So are you saying Mexico lied about the autopsy? Why would they lie and say she had a spinal? You know what I'm saying? And now y'all saying that y'all don't see that in y'all autopsy?
Maybe. Mm,
It was, we know politics. They in together.
Mm-hmm.
You
mm.
know.
You know they ain't together, man. That's why. That's why. Look at this. You know they ain't together. That's why U.S. will send their citizens out to go to war for other countries.
They do. They
You know
do.
what I'm saying? You know
Mm.
they ain't. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. We like the bullies. Like we the ones that like all these other countries. They call us when they need help, and
Yeah.
we sending out squads.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Air tank, all that stuff. We sending them.
So now people get killed.
We
Yeah.
spend it. We spend a lot of time battling other people's problems. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And why do you think we do that?
So they can so they can have some favors done for them.
Exactly. That means that they in cahoots with each other. I mean, it just
Yeah.
is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the game. Like you know,
Yeah.
we
Favor
call
for a
well,
favor.
we got some people over here that'll take care of that for you.
Favor for a favor. That's all what's going on.
Yeah. Every time you look on the news, the U.S. out there training soldiers in other
Yeah.
countries, helping other countries, going to war. You know what I'm saying? All that. And then the question is why? Because they're making big money with these people.
Yep.
That's what's funding it. Any
Yep.
any all this stuff needs funding. It
Yeah.
ain't free. None of this stuff is free. Lawyers ain't free. Man, a little, even little charges. DWI that's cost like 10 racks. Every ain't nothing free. So
Mhm.
when you ask yourself, who funding them to bring them fighter jets out there to other, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, all the ammunition and all that,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, they
Who
getting
funding
funded.
that? Who funding
Hmm.
that? And our economy is supposed to be bad right now. Our economy is they working on it, but if our economy's so bad, how can they be out there spending all this money
Right.
elsewhere? It's all business, man. That's all it is. And with this case, like I say, we don't know who these big people is. Like she was speaking of, like we need
Yeah.
somebody big. We need somebody in a big. You know what I'm saying? Like even look at this.
I
Even if look at this. Do you know they got international federal agents?
Mhm.
What do they
They're
do?
over. They're over. They're over the like they're higher level. They can go anywhere.
Mhm.
They can go anywhere. And they be having special weapons that you ain't even never seen that none of us could ever touch. Look it up. That's what happened with with the president. People thought, look, with Kennedy out here, look, it was an international. You know what I'm saying? They said the type of weapon he had was like a plastic. You know when they talk about them plastic toys, it was something like that, and it let off like an explode, like whenever the bullet comes out, it explodes.
Right.
So even think about this, even the feds got to speak to somebody higher than them. It's always somebody higher.
Yeah.
Before they make any moves they make, there's somebody else is gonna tell them yes or no. They even said that on the election, man. Remember what I was telling you about that when I was watching the Trump inauguration?
Yeah.
Right.
They forgot to turn the mic off on the begin on the live inauguration, and they said look, see, everybody think the inauguration is like, whenever he comes out, everybody congratulate him, but this is the inauguration. You see that room that he's finna go into before he comes out to meet the public. That's when they tell him stuff that no living American should ever know. He's sitting at a table with some of the most powerful people in the world. And at that point, he gets sworn in to never tell the secrets. And she said, yeah, I wonder how many presidents be like, man, I don't know if I'm up for this after they talk to them. You get what I'm saying? That's how she
Right.
stepped there. She said, I wonder how many presidents be like, man, I don't know if I want to do this after talking to them, because right before you get inaugurated, that's the inauguration is when he's sitting down at the table with the biggest, and they tell him this and this and that, and he have to say yes or no, I'm with it, and then he's sworn in.
Right.
So it's like it's some big dogs out there that we just ain't aware of. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. It's some people with a lot of power. Of course, we know it because the way the world is ran, there got to be somebody with higher power than just what we dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It got to be. It can't be. You know what I'm saying? That's why stuff don't never work the way we feel like it's supposed to work, because it got to come from a higher person. Like even in your apartments, if you got a if you got a certain problem that it ain't being fixed, you know what I'm saying? Then whoever try to fix it, they got to reach out to corporate. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
the person from corporate got to say, okay, we're gonna fund this money, we're gonna fix this stuff, or they'll move you out of there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or they'll just move you out of there instead of fixing it right now. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody's snoring. What's up with it, Jay?
Boss man, salute to you, fam.
What's going down?
Yeah, I want to tap in with you real quick. I tapped in with you for a second.
Already, what's going down, man?
Yeah, I want to speak on Shanquella. Shanquella, she deserves justice, boss man, and the fact that she not gonna get it is, I just got to call it how it is. It's fucked up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what I want to come up on the panel and speak on is the fact that I'm in Cali and
Mm-hmm.
I stopped going to Mexico. Mexico is dangerous for black folks to go down there.
Mm,
It's a lot of tension between black and brown that they don't really speak on.
Yep.
They want to really present this black and brown unity, but I'm talking about telling you somebody that's on the front lines in
Mm-hmm.
LA where it's a lot of tension between black and brown, especially when you go to Mexico. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to the resort all inclusive areas like maybe Cancun or Puerto Vallarta, somewhere like that, yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna have a good experience because you pretty much in all inclusive resort.
Yeah.
You're
It's
not gonna
governed. It's governed.
yeah, you're not gonna deal with the outside, lay of the land. Now you go outside of the confines of the resort, then you're gonna get a wake up call because a lot of those Mexicans are prejudiced against blacks. Then that's just what it is. So for Shanquilla to get treated the way that she got treated, it didn't surprise me that they really wasn't giving a fuck about her or trying to,
Mm-hmm.
give her no justice, even though she was clearly murdered. And
Yeah. Try.
they
Try not to
don't.
cuss. Try not to cuss.
Oh
As
yeah,
much as possible.
it's just this Shanquilla stuff, man. This
It's
just
messed
got
up.
me just, yeah, man.
It's messed
So
up.
yeah, I don't want
No.
your channel to,
No, you good.
get
You good. You good. You good. But I'm just, I always got said because that's just what they expect me to do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, Shanquilla
This
though.
is
That I've been fight, been on this since day one, and to find out that this sister ain't gonna get no justice, really?
Yeah. Look, I got a partner, man. Lancito, man. He passed and everything, but like he's mixed with black and Mexican, and he owned a house in Mexico, and like he used to like take care of like way back in the day, like 2003 and stuff. Take us out there, and not too long ago, like before that, whatever happened to him, he told us he said, man, because they were like, man, let's go to your house, you know what I'm saying, your beach, your little spot. He said, man, he said, I wouldn't even take y'all out there right now. He said it's so grimy out there, like they know when you ain't from out there and everything. He said he don't even go out there, and he own it. He owned a house out there. He ain't been out there.
Yeah,
He said he ain't been out there in
yeah,
7 years.
spit facts.
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
he ain't
you
been out
spitting
there in
facts,
seven
boss
years
man.
because they look at him like a American now. You know what I'm saying? He said when last time he went back home, it was some weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? He said I wouldn't even bring y'all there to party no more. Like for real. Like they be scheming like a mud. They can tell you that you ain't from out there instantly. I was like, dang. He's talking about he gonna sell it. He's gonna sell his house. He ain't even going out there. And he is Mexican. He black and Mexican though.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said, boss man, I stopped going to Mexico. When I start feeling the tension down there, and this was around that time when you say, that's how I know you spitting facts. Around 2003,
Mm-hmm.
2004, when it was getting funky down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped going. And I used to go
Mm-hmm.
down to Tijuana. I used to go down to Rosarita Beach and,
Mm.
parlay because they used to have a big, Memorial Day function in Rosarita Beach every year. And I used to go to Rosarita Beach. But,
Mm.
when you start going down to Mexico and start seeing it's like it changed. Like before it used to be cool to go down there and kick it, but
Mhm.
it changed at some point to where when you start going down there, you start noticing them looking at you funny, and you just going
Oh
up in like
yeah, they out to get you. That's what
yeah,
he said. He said, man, they gonna hit a lick on you, man, for sure. I wouldn't even have
and they,
y'all
they
out
got
there.
this in Tijuana they got this strip called the Revolucion. So you go on Revolucion and they got all kind of like bars and clubs and all kind of stuff like that on the Revolution. Well,
Mhm.
when we start going on to then that's where you get like the tequila with the worm in the bottle, and
Mhm.
just turning up. We used to turn up in Tijuana. But then when the a lot of the what they call the American Mexicans was coming down and would see us down there, and then knew we was from LA, that's when the funk would start. So
Mhm.
yeah, we stopped going to Mexico, boss man, just because of this, way before Shanquella. Because the Mexicans, they don't respect black people. Just like
Mhm.
the cartel that kidnapped the folks down there, the old girl that was on TV saying how they
Yeah.
tried to get them to have sex with each other, and she was like,
Mm.
"That's my brother." That just goes to show you the disrespect that they have for us as a people in Mexico.
Yeah, they I mean they don't they don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that is. They don't care.
Yeah, it's way different. And then also like even the Hispanics on this side versus the ones, because they call 'em paisas over there, they don't even recognize each other,
Mhm.
they don't even respect each other.
And
Like,
look, and then my email is the real boss TV 8155. Like I got some people that's subscribers they stay an hour from Cabo. And they been hitting me up. They said, boss, they're gonna send me some footage. They said they really went out there to the villa, asking questions to the bars, and they said they got spooked. They said somebody was following them. They start asking questions. They said people was ignoring them and stuff
Oh, they
about
went to the
Shanquella.
villa.
Yeah, they went to the villa and all the bars around there and everything. And they was mentioning her name, and they said they got spooked. They said they ain't going back.
yeah,
They
yep, I
said
could see
somebody
that.
they believe somebody was following them.
Yeah, because they got watchers and stuff, and they got people that got ears on the street, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean, trying to, yeah, hear what's going on, and they got those
Real
phones that all they
real
gotta
talk.
do is
Look,
just make a call. Yeah,
I can't make this up. They was really on. They said we finna go out there and all that. I was like, well, be careful. And then they emailed, they hit me back. They was like, man, we went out. We even went to the villa asking questions. They didn't say nothing to us. They looked at us like we was crazy. So they went to like the local bars around there. It was mentioning her name. They said
yeah.
they weren't even talking about, like they don't know what
Well,
you're
and
talking
and
about.
and their like whole motto, like I don't want to say motto, but you know what I mean. What they believe in is silence. Like you don't even talk. You don't talk to cameras. You don't talk to anybody. That's just the way they roll. Like cartel, it doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, but if you're Hispanic in any kind of nature, you know what I mean. Oh, even over there, like you don't even make eye contact. Don't even say, you're not even to verbalize any kind of, like even
Yeah.
say hi or anything. You know what I mean? Because then
You look.
your life is in
Look,
danger.
she
Literally,
told me, she said, look, first they went to the villa,
they move in silence.
and then of course they wasn't getting no answer. They was looking at them crazy. So they went to a couple bars and they said they felt like they was getting followed or something. They said the vibe was so weird that they
So thick, yeah.
would not go back. They left. They're not going back.
Because
yeah,
I'm sure
baby
that they
girl,
come
she
and tell the
definitely
people at the
knows
bars too. Yeah.
she talking about
Say that again. You was cutting out.
across the border.
Yeah.
Like she was she talking about, because they do have watchers down there in Mexico where they sit there. Their job is
They
they paid
watch
by the cartels to sit
to
there at the
watch.
border
Yeah.
all day long and watch traffic
And then
to
they'll
see
pay
if a
off
lot of their
the
Yeah.
owners
citizens
of the
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
little
through.
bars and
Yeah.
everything and say, hey,
Look,
if people come in
Yeah,
asking for about this or that,
that's what my homeboy told me. He said they got people that's out there watching to see an American or somebody from out there, and they finna run some game on you. Straight up, that's what he told me. He said, man, they be on it. Like they know, they can tell
yeah.
yeah,
instantly by
and
looking at you
They got
that you ain't from.
watchers
yeah.
for sure.
And then even like how he's saying, that you go over there, go party or whatever. Like we
Yeah,
used
they
to
know what it
go,
is, boss
because
man.
I'm in Arizona. I'm in Arizona, so we used to go to Nogales all the time. But like even just going at 18 years old, because we used to go because you could drink, right? But even going
Oh
there
yeah,
just to
okay.
drink for the night, like coming out, you have to make sure you're with solid people, because you got to
Hey,
make sure you got your guy
hey,
friends with
hey,
you.
hey, hey! I just wanna say they gave me back my green, so let's just not say words like
Yeah,
DEATA. All them type of
yeah, yeah.
words. Just
Yeah, for sure, boss
Unalive,
keep
you
it
man,
say
for
like
keep it
sure.
covered.
unaliving and things like that. Yeah. You're
Yeah, they
supposed to
just
Yeah,
say.
gave me the green.
I'm a
That's
censor
that's
myself,
why
boss
that's
man.
why that's why I wanted to keep it going because I know
Yeah,
if you keep it going and you keep it like straight, like how we haven't been saying
yeah,
much derogatory things, then they'll give you back the green. So we
yeah.
back
They
green
so
now. We back paid. You feel me?
so like was like even in the chat, like if you want to say 'cause you misspell the
Yeah.
words that you like purposely misspell them. You know what I mean? So then they won't
Well, I
flag
got
you.
I got automatic blocking too. So they
Yeah,
automatically like once this video is published, it just show all the comments that they blocked.
right,
Like
right.
cause they
But even like
they
you
don't
said, like
play.
saying certain words, because like people have been saying
Yeah.
murmur,
Yeah,
and they've been
anything
saying
shock.
certain,
Yeah, like
yeah, they say different words.
if you say the word, D-E,
It
you know what I'm
flags it.
talking about,
Yeah,
so many times, the system recognizes like y'all talking about some
that's
negative
why a lot
stuff.
of they say unaliving or things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
you just change it up. Past. You know what I'm saying? That's how I use the word past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, but like you said, like when we used to go drink over
Yeah,
there,
say
you know.
unaliving for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. So when we used to go drink
Yeah,
over
just
there,
say
you bring somebody
unaliving.
solid because when you're coming out, even the people that they'll stand out there trying to touch the girls that are drunk, that are drinking,
Hmm.
they try to touch you, so you have to make sure you're with solid people and make sure you take your guy friend with you, like so like to make sure because they take advantage of the girls coming out of the clubs to go back across the border, and they'll be touching on you and doing all kinds of stuff. Even that is even sketch, but it's even worse now.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely know, man. Say business is booming, you know, out there. We know that business is booming.
Yeah, and
Like
they don't want the
the
word to get
the
out there.
fact the
People,
fact the fact that people see we sit up here and watch all these documentaries and stuff on real life stuff, and the fact that a lot of people act like they don't understand what's going on. Like none of us got no boats or no clearance. We don't got no badge or nothing to even make these type of moves. You get what I'm saying? Who do you think is doing it? Now, I don't want to say like I'm just you see how I speak. I don't directly say. I just feel like
yeah,
y'all should understand what I'm saying, right?
yeah,
How do you think stuff gets over here?
yep. Well, they have
It
bait
ain't no
cards.
random
Yeah,
person. It ain't no random person that's crazy enough to try
yeah,
to. You see what I'm saying? It
yeah.
don't even work like
Yeah,
that.
because
And then
at
they
one
use
time,
bait cards
at
too.
one time, what they was doing was in Tijuana.
Yeah, you cut out.
They use like bait cards so then the bigger things can go by. You know what I mean? They use that to draw the attention to so when certain people are drawing, that they pull that over. You know what I mean? Then the big stuff goes by. That's
What's the
how that's
movie?
how.
American Gangster or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Where they're talking about Frank Lucas.
Yeah,
You remember that they show how this stuff was coming on planes? Do you think they made that up?
no, it all started with a certain president. You know what I mean? That's how it all started. They were bringing over our military stuff. Military aircraft.
Yeah, so that's why I say
Yep,
it's all about
it
understanding the
really paid
game,
off. Yeah,
and even and with all these cases, what we got to understand is what matters the most is tangible evidence, what you can touch.
yeah,
Don't they do not care about your logic. That's never stood in a case or a trial. Well, logically, we feel like they should get off because no, they don't go off of that. They go off of tangible evidence, something that you can touch, something that you can see, something that's real. Just like that lady said, she said, if you're going to keep pushing, push something real. Don't push your own narrative of what you think happened. Go by what we know for sure. That's why I say we know for sure Nazir wasn't there because we never seen him on camera. We seen everybody else but him. So what was he hiding in the bathroom? You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah.
what was he doing? That's a fact. Think about it. They
You
re-
know,
she they recorded. She recorded every like pretty much the party. Nazir wasn't there, man.
um, There was I was watching, someone else, and they were kind of like, breaking it down and analyzing things and stuff, and they said something about, they think that there was two other people that maybe they met there, like I don't know if it was a guy and a girl or what it was, but like they, like just temporary, like they met somebody at the resort, because when they were eating dinner, it looks like there's but it's not Nazir because he wasn't there. But I think there's like an extra. I'm not sure. You might have to look at it again. But they, when they were looking
Now,
at it,
I
looked like
seen the video, man. All of them was there, and the other people was in there. There was workers. It was like two people cooking. Remember, the concierge said he was there too.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's all there. There's no video of another dude like partying with them or nothing.
And didn't they say that when he gave condolences, or was trying to give condolences to Dejanay, and like she was like kind of standoffish, and that he was trying
Hmm.
to reach her and she wasn't responding. She didn't respond until they were already up and already probably over here. They said
Yeah,
she didn't respond for a long time.
yeah. And he said
Yeah,
she tricked them and said they need a ride to go get something to eat, and then they used that ride to get to a hotel
another
by
hotel. Yeah.
airport so they could leave early in the morning.
And then she didn't respond when he was trying to get a hold of her. And she said, "Is there anything I have to do? Can you just, what did she say? Email it to me or like send it to me, like if I
Hmm.
for about checkout or something." She said
Yeah,
that was after
exactly.
they were already.
Because it was her party. It was her birthday.
Yeah, yeah. That's why she wasn't responding, because they were trying to jump on that plane, hurry up, get over
And
here.
that's why she was in direct contact with the concierge.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's why the concierge was talking to her personally because it's her party. It's her event,
I hear you.
which I don't know what could have happened, all the messy stuff or whatever, but you know,
Yeah,
it happened and it just didn't play out. But the thing that really made me think is that concierge said he said whenever they was having dinner, and they was doing that little thing. He said he met Shanquella and he said she felt like she was out of place, like what I'm saying, like he hugged everybody, concierge. He said
yeah,
she felt like she was out of place. Now that's one thing that stood out to me that you know, so that had to be after she was recording, talking about how we in this big mansion, and they actually was sitting down and eating. Because he
yeah,
said
yeah.
he came in there, because he's a concierge. That's who you call for whenever you need anything.
Right.
Like, hey, if we need another drink, we
Yeah,
need call the concierge. So he said he came in there while they was eating dinner, and it was already a weird vibe at that point.
yeah. He said that Shanquella didn't seem like she fit in too much. Like she was like the vibe was off with her.
Hmm.
He said something about like her, like she was not as, like everybody else was like more in a celebratory like vibe, and that she just seemed like she was like it was just a little off with her, like her energy, like her, how she was reacting and stuff.
Yeah, she didn't fit in. She
Yeah,
was
yeah.
around. See, from my understanding, that's the first time she went on a trip with them, with the girls, them girls.
And
They
wasn't
all
there
been on.
somebody supposed to, you said there was somebody supposed to come with Shanquella, right? And like they, or the person, or no, Shanquella was the substitute, right? Because the other person fell out and said they weren't gonna go or something. Didn't you
Yeah,
say something?
Joya at least didn't go.
Yeah,
And if you go to her page, she has like four trips that her, Winter, Dejanay, and Elise, they all went together. Just them four.
yeah. I'm looking up what's required for federal prosecution, because they said that they're going to drop the case. So I'm just looking it up on that. Everybody's all quiet now.
Yeah. My allergies is killing me. This is all I'm saying. Like this dog
The dog is
sheds
scared.
so much hair, it's crazy. This Alaska Malamute, they shed so much hair. It's like, oh my god.
Got to get him groomed.
Like it's just, I paid like I had got her groomed. They did her nails and put bows in her hair not too long ago, but the undercoat
Yeah,
around this time it started shedding. Like it's just big. Like this, this is
just get
like
long. Yeah,
it's just falling from the sky and stuff. I'm like, what the world is going on? And she ain't even in my room.
yeah, yeah,
I don't even let her in my room because now she all destructive and stuff.
yeah.
I
Crazy
let her
world.
have like a pair of my shoes since she done tore them up, so that's her toy.
They got if you look under the bark, it's called the bark box. They have like I think I can't remember that, but if you look like Google bark box, and then you can actually specialize certain toys, like if you know how destructive she might be, you know, because she's chewing on stuff, and they'll send you like a box of like every like you know it's not even that much. I got it for my dog because he would chew up any kind of chew toy that we got, so I got like extra tough ones. You know what I mean? So he couldn't destroy him right away because it was useless as like going to the dollar store and trying to buy some tennis balls because that thing was done like in like 5 minutes. So
I'm finna put her in training. It's like $100 something,
yeah,
like 2
she's
month
still a
training.
pup, you know, so she's gonna have those tendencies.
Hmm. And she big. The dog is so big. Every time I Uber eat, they run. And she's only 3 months, and she's
Yeah,
scared to go down the stairs still. And I'm like, man, I'm
is
not
she?
gonna keep picking you. Like she done got huge. I don't know. I thought I was getting like a regular husky. I done got a massive
Yeah,
Alaskan Malamute.
the biggest dog.
She is 3 months old, and people be scared when they see her. Like the Uber, he's oh, I'm scared of the, he look he dropped my Subway sandwich and they took off running. I was like, no, she only changed. It's just a baby.
Yeah,
Like in the last Uber Eats, when I open the door, I have her chained up, so she's just standing there, and she
yeah.
start walking towards the steps. And she said, oh, look, she threw me my food, took off. I said, no, no, she chained up. Like, I'm like, she's like, yeah. She said, it looked like a baby, but it is big though. I'm like,
You gotta
man,
put it in your little Uber in the little description. It said, "Don't worry, she's just a pup."
yeah, she's just a pup. She just want to play and stuff,
Yeah,
but
put
she
it in the
big, man.
description so they know not to freak it out.
She getting she getting heavy for me to take her down the stairs. She only 3 months.
She don't want to go down the stairs.
Yeah, she's scared to go downstairs. She's scared to climb up the stairs or go down, and that's how she's still young. But they say that they can get up to 200 pounds.
Yeah, she's gonna get big. Pull the splays and stuff, right?
Hmm?
Those are the ones that are you pulling. Yeah, they
Yeah,
call them the dog sled.
they're original sled runners. They can run for 16 hours. I said, oh my god! Like you should see her running back and forth. She be running into the door, just do. Like I'm talking about, man. I'm like this dog going crazy. I'm like, man, I'm finna have to put her up for adoption,
Yeah,
man.
you're gonna have to take her out
I
and
can't
take her to like yeah.
I can't like once she get big,
Just
like
find
I'm gonna
places
have
where
to.
you can let her just run. You know.
Yeah, man. That dog, man, that tore all my blinds up, everything. It's like I'm like, oh my god. At first, when I first had her, she was real small, and I only had her like two
Cute.
months. And she'll come in the room, lay in the bed, all that. It was cool. But now I cannot let her in the room. I'm talking about as soon as sometimes she'll sneak in the room and grab something and take off running, and she tearing up everything. I'm like, man, like I literally can't let her chill in the room at all. Never.
Yeah.
Like she ate up my remote control.
She's already
I was like,
eyeballing stuff. Yeah, where she could take it around.
yeah, she hurry up and grab something and run off. I'm like, man, come on, man. It's like she
Yeah.
bad, man. Bad little
I'll
dog.
send you a link on IG about that bark box and just check it out. You know what I mean? Because it actually it saved our stuff because he was chewing up shoes and stuff too. You know. So
Yeah.
like if you get stuff that like you get to like specifically like kind of you get to like you know just like design it to where you know whatever she does and you tell them what kind of dog it is and then they'll give you like specific stuff that's specifically for like those breeds.
Yeah. I mean, I took it to the to the people, and they told me all about the dog. They're like, yeah, they real dominant. You want to go ahead and get training with her while she's young because when she gets old, It's gonna be
Gonna
hard
try
to
to run.
teach them anything. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna listen. And she does not listen. The only thing that she listens to is the little squeaky toy. If I go, I use that little squeaky toy, she'll stop or she'll run. Like they don't like loud noises or squeaky noises. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's like one of the ways that show I've looked up to how they train them. Like
yeah,
if she doesn't go to her little pad to use the bathroom and she look like she finna you hurry up and squeak that toy like no and make her then she'll do it.
yeah, yeah. To startle her real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta startle her like, but that is so crazy. But the kids they be squeaking, yeah, making her just go crazy. I'm like, stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? They be squeezing that little toy, and she just be jumping and flipping and stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like she can jump high and everything. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
sell the dog. I'm gonna have to get you man. I'm gonna have to get me a
Oh.
miniature. I'm gonna have to get me a mini.
They say you got to get a short hair dog.
I got to get it like a Clee or something like them little miniature breeds. She big, boy. I'm talking about she huge. I was like, man, say, you see how
But
big?
she'll be loyal to you, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of her, show you how big she is since the
Yeah,
last picture you seen. You gonna be like, oh
yeah.
no,
'Cause she was
like
a
oh
baby when you first showed her. Yeah.
yeah, you gonna be like, oh no, and I only had her like probably she's only 3 months old. But yeah, man, I
Sweet.
appreciate everybody coming through, man. I really need to
Yeah, I'm
get
gonna
back to
jump
doing
on
my
too.
lives. I took a little time out, but yeah, man. Justice
All
for
right. Well,
Shanquella for real.
hey, you gotta send me a link for your merch because, like, when I went to go, because I'm trying to plug it in the chat, and
Hmm.
it's giving me a long ass link. So you gotta give me a shorter link, like whatever it is, just to go directly to your page. Because when I go to it, I have to click on your actual item, and then it's giving me a long link for the item, and then plus the actual spread, whatever it is, that whatever your merch link
Oh
is. So
yeah,
I just need a shorter
yeah,
link.
yeah.
Okay.
I seen you the link.
Okay. All right.
All right, all
Take
right.
care.
I appreciate everybody coming through. D. Lynn, Miss FedEx. I know D. Lynn fell
Oh,
asleep
I was talking and y'all could. I had my mic on mute this whole time.
for real.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
saying little stuff here and there.
Well, and then nobody
I,
even hear y'all. I thought you was
I
asleep.
no, I was saying that I like when you was talking about your allergies and stuff. I said I took a Benadryl today,
Hmm.
and because of my allergies, because of the weather and stuff changing, and the pollen in the air and stuff,
Hmm.
and I'm like, it's making me drowsy. I've been drowsy all day
Hmm.
today. I took Benadryl, so yeah, I'm sorry. I said a few things, and I'm just realizing that I was on mute.
Yeah, I ain't. I've been. I actually been sleeping the whole day. I've been in the bed the whole day. I can't even lie. I'll probably
Yeah.
go see if this new episode of Snowfall is out.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
show I'll be watching, and then I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down.
Okay. I'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming through though.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Y'all be easy.
Yeah. You too.